Heavy is the head. I see the boat throwing. I'm too full with it. I gotta keep going. Kobe with the wins. You niggas just Ginobili. You winning only cause of me. Let's keep the ball rolling. No disrespect, Slim. Where is your check, Slim? Welcome back to another episode of the You Weren't There podcast. I am, of course, your host, Mique Was Here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and follow the podcast, You Weren't There podcast, on IG and TikTok. Got a special show for y'all today. Watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that out the way. We're going to do our introductions as usual, man, and we're going to get right to business. Mique on the Mix, we're going to start with you.
Hey, so everybody, how y'all doing? My name is Mique on the Mix. I'm an audio engineer, videographer as well. When you're talking about like how I got my start into all this stuff. I got into the engineer game because I always like being like behind the scenes part of it. Like when I was younger, like in high school and stuff, I was rapping and stuff. But I was always enamored by like this sounds and stuff. So I just wanted to learn that. So went to Bowie State, graduated with a degree in music technology. And I've been working in the studio since 2012. Started in like PG County for a minute, but I moved to Baltimore in like 2019. So I'm still in Laurel. I work at a Steep Recording Studio out in Laurel. If you want to book a session there, and I'm also at D-Flow Studios out in Baltimore as well. Okay. So you can contact me at Mique on the Mix, MIQUE on the Mix, on all social media platforms.
Okay, Martae, we can go with you next.
I'm Cvpset Martae, Northeast DC. I'm a father, first artist. I did architect, all around cool guy. Just be chilling.
He's the coolest nigga in the He's a cool motherfucker, I will say that.
But yeah, I started Cvpset back in, what was that, 2011, I believe? Was that 2011?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Sound right.
I never talked about this, bro.
I noticed. I do a lot of research walking into these things. I could not find a single podcast or interview you've ever done. Like nothing. Yeah. There was nothing. It was 10,000 videos, 50,000 shorts, but it was nothing as far as like conversation.
So what people don't know is like the version y'all get of me is not the version I used to be. So I'm like original like hood nigga in DC. So it's like I changed my whole life around. But anyway, I'm a father first artist, founder of Cvpset DC, and you can find me at Cvpset Martae on Instagram, all social media, and that's Cvpset with a V instead of a U.
Tyrellington, producer from DC. You can find me at the Uptown Sound on all socials, and yeah, at this point.
Okay, he's been here before, so he's being rude. Chaz.
Yo, at Chaz DL, you know, your featured guest host, if you would.
See y'all professionals.
So, but another great episode or conversation we're about to have. I'm excited. We're good people together again. So yeah, welcome. Let's get it.
All right. So I think what I want to discuss today is consistency. I feel like when I look around this room, like these are the guys that I started with. These are the guys who been in music since I knew what it was, how to do it, how to handle it, how to move through it. And I have so much respect for the people in this room because like this is what I know. You know what I mean? It's a lot of artists that I'm less familiar with. I'm getting more familiar over time. I think it's important to know the landscape in a situation like this. But I think my goal is always to be representative of the history of the city. And I feel like we've gotten this reputation of like not having our own sound and like not having originators or OGs or guys that's like trying to help move the process forward. And I think like this collective is proof that that's not true. But, we started a long time ago. So I'm retired now, you know what I'm saying? Fuck what y'all saying. I'm out the game, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm out the game. One feature. I'm not gonna do this. Listen, I think it's just important to know where it all comes from and kind of like some of the originators of the sound in this area that I respect. That it wasn't always just free call music, that it has grown from something, that there's an evolution that's taken place, as far as this area and the music in it is concerned. So I want to get into that first, right? So Mique, right? So you started off as a rapper, moved into engineering and production, and that's kind of like where you established yourself, right? So when you look at, let's say, the frequency of how often music was created when you first started engineering and producing to like where we are now, what's the difference?
Man, so many options. I think when I was younger, like high school stuff like that, going to the studio was like almost like a fantasy, or unless somebody had like set up in their crib type vibe or something like that for real. So it's like it's so accessible now, and it's almost like it's kind of no excuse to it. Like if you literally could say, wake up one day and say, I want to start making music. You literally go online. It might be a studio right by your house. You ain't even know it. Yeah. And it's legit. And it's like legit. Like it's legit. They got recording apps in your phone now. Like, they making movies. So on it's just so many ways. You can definitely make an album. Yeah. So it's just so many avenues to just record and just create. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things. And like I said, I think when I was younger, the one thing I will say is I think when everybody first started, we had like signature studios in the area that everybody was going to, like certain studios everybody was going to. And I think that created that community where it could be a situation where it's like you go to the studio and then you might meet a person that goes to the studio and then y'all start working together only because y'all go to the same studio. Right. So you hear people music. Like, oh, that's fine.
In that environment. Make you want to.
So I think back in the day that created like that sense of community and that hustle and that sense of like, yo, bro, I think you dope. Yo, I think you nice. Oh, let's help each other out. Where I do think probably one of this now is things are a little more private and everybody's a little closed off. And sometimes I do think that hurts a little bit. You know what I mean? But other than that though, like I said, it's just so many avenues to be creative and so many studios. It's a lot.
So it's no excuse not to be consistent.
Yes, it's not.
And you kind of have to be in this market. Okay, that's fair. Martae, what's your take on it?
So like he said, it was like hard getting going back then, like, you know, recording. So when I first started recording, this is before I started Cvpset, by the way. I was rapping before that.
You know that.
Yeah, I started rapping in junior high school. So this is a weird story to tell, but so I got a brother named Martae. That's one of my older brothers. This nigga used to look just like Lil Wayne when he was with the Hot Boys. So I used to be so jealous when he pulled up around my way. All the girls like, that's your brother. I was like, all his line, right? So fast forward, I get in like 7th grade and he moved up the street from my block. And we wasn't that close. So I had to force myself to like get close with him or whatever, right? So go in his house. He had this big ass slab on the door. Like he had a fucking kingpin or some shit like that, right? I'm like, dude, what is you doing? So he's like, man, what you want to do? I'm like, what's up? I'm trying to chill. He was like, you want to record some music? I was like, shit, I try. So I recorded my first song there. Don't ask me how I go. That shit was so cheesy. But it was like in this little closet. But that's pretty much how I like started like music and with him pretty much. And he used to take me to like open mics on 8th Street when 8th Street wasn't the 8th Street it is now. Like them just like hole in the walls.
Right.
And you will see some of the, like, it was like old heads in that jungle. Most of them was like, they was like country, like from Houston or something like that. But I go in that jungle to perform. Nobody knew how I was, but I used that time to like pretty much try to like build up my presence and like how, you know, I present myself as an artist and everything like that. So that was what was good back then. You got to be like really consistent with that as far as like being out in the street and, you know,
we was at every event back then. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. I look at that shit now like, you niggas is tripping. I think I'm coming to your shit on the Tuesday. I need to adjust your format for real.
The problem nowadays though, niggas got egos, man.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like,
probably one of the biggest.
You got to learn how to be confident in yourself and walk into a room without an ego and just be willing to, you know, get to know people, like have real true intentions with people. People don't have that. Everybody moving malicious intent now for some reason.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the biggest difference in what I see. Like, because we had community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We going to the same events. We in the same functions. We going to the same shows, performing at the same shows, the same open mics. And you just see people all the time. That's how I met Ty. Like, you just, I saw him everywhere.
Yep.
And eventually you introduce yourself. Same with Martae. I saw him everywhere. And eventually you introduce yourself. And I think that was a time where people was, like we was just in the same functions. And it made it easier to create community because people were genuine. And people were like, we just trying to get this shit off the ground by any means. And I think we had an understanding that like we couldn't do it without each other. You need people's support, right? And I think the reason it's so different now is because artists really don't need help. If you can build an online following, that makes all the difference. And I hear so many of those who I feel like control some of the structure in the city. That's their focus for the artists that they pay attention to. That's their focus for who they want to help build the structure. It's like, well, they have this many followers and they have this much engagement, and that's what matters. And I don't agree with that at all. And I think that's why a lot of artists are like missing personality.
I was just about to say.
For real. Like, I think like, I've always felt like, I feel like this now, artist or no artist, I step in a room, you know I'm there. I've been like that since the beginning. That's not bragging.
But that's because you used to doing it like me.
Because I'm confident with or without
like,
the things.
Like everybody was saying, like the biggest part back then of consistency was showing face and showing like you had to be outside. You had to go outside.
You had to go outside.
Like
and you had to go outside consistently.
That face card shit is real. Like you had to and not only just be there, like you had to be there, show love, like make somebody be personable.
People
like,
need to fuck with you. Like, people needed to fuck with you.
People
knew
I was sneaking in Bohemian Caverns for producer battles, and I was like 16. I wasn't even supposed to be in that.
For sure.
You feel me? Like, but I got in because eventually, man, this little nigga, like, he ain't even causing trouble. Like, he trying to like be in there. I wasn't even like confident enough to show up with beats. I just wanted to be around that shit.
Right.
Same with like when we used to do ELC up on Georgia Ave, like just being in that environment. Nobody in there knew I was a producer yet. I was just in Sice game. Right. So it's like, you know, I'm with my team, I'm with my friends, but it's like at the same time, like I'm sitting back just looking out everybody moving, like, all right, when I jump off the porch though with this music shit, this is how I'm about to I'm about to attack it this way. And I'm coming back for people that I know is dope, and I'm gonna reach out to y'all. Because I'm already a familiar face at this point. We got rapport. I'm outside. You see me at these events and all that. You feel me? So it's like, you know, it's love.
And it's connection.
And it's connection.
You see people with other people that you know, like they good people. And I feel like that's what's missing. Like so many of these artists, like you big on Instagram, but you step outside and nobody know you. And that's why you can't sell tickets.
And you don't know how to work a room.
You don't know how to work a room.
Because some of these dudes, they be
standing in the corner, they be awkward as hell.
It be little things too.
You be like,
little things.
Like, you know, I know social anxiety is a real thing. And I'm not talking about that. It's different than that. Like niggas that come in and just like, it's weird, like you don't know how to like have basic conversation. Like you said, you don't know how to dap somebody up.
Some of that is like niggas really is coming from the street, and so some of it is like a natural tension that they feel in a closed environment. And I understand that. We had a couple street niggas on the show, so I understand that. But I think like that's what's missing.
I mean, we ain't from like we all know niggas like that. So
you know what I'm saying?
There's ways to even get around that. You feel me?
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with nothing that you're saying, because I do think that that's what's missing from all of this. I think that we're like in a time where like, because artists don't know how to build connection, you're not able to stay consistent over a longer span of time, because you got a big presence on IG, you got a presence on TikTok, and maybe you monetizing that, which is all wonderful. I'm not knocking any of that. Right. But in order for you to make money long term, you need to be able to put asses in seats. Those are just the realities. And if you can't pack a show, I don't know how far you think you're going to go with this. And that's stage presence, right? I said this on plenty of shows before. I'm going to say it again. Jay-Z talked a lot about like, nobody want to see a rapper walking back and forth grabbing his balls. It's boring. So working a room is what teaches you like how to work a stage, right? And that was something that I hated. I'm not going to lie. I hated performing. It was always my least. The studio was always my favorite part. Performing was always my least favorite, but you get good at things over time. Not because you enjoy them necessarily, because I never did, but it's just practice. It's repetition. I'm in every open mic. I'm in every function on H Street. I'm at everything on U Street. And over time, you just like feel like whether or not you enjoy it, I can do this and I can do it well. And I think like because a lot of artists don't get the practice with going into those rooms, networking in those rooms, establishing a presence in those rooms, when these are the same people that are going to be the presence when you walk on a stage, you don't know how to do it and you're uncomfortable. The only way to get comfortable in the social atmosphere is to be social. There is no way around it. There's no avenue. Like
it's looked down on. A lot of shit is not supposed to be like lame, like being social. Like I be looking at like how people talk about just normal shit now.
Give me an example. Give me an example of that.
Oh, I got one. Some dude on TikTok, right? He was at a concert. He had his phone out, and the girl was standing right there. And he was like, TikTok,
saying.
Sit back, do your job.
Help me, help me find her. And he's standing right next to her. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna say this. All right? I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I'm gonna say it. Y'all not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna say it. A lot of y'all pussy. Like, it's weird. Like, you don't know how to interact with anybody, but in particular because you don't know how to interact with women who are the tastemakers when it comes to music.
Right.
You're acting all awkward and weird, or you like acting like you're trying to fight the bitch when you really flirting with her. Like, nigga, make a decision. Do you want to fight me or do you want to date me? That's another problem. You niggas are scary as shit. Y'all scaring the hoes. That's why you're not excited. You scaring all the bitches away.
I'm gonna tell you, Creepy, that was his icebreaker. Like,
your icebreaker can't be.
That's a corny icebreaker. As a woman, my first thought, this nigga pussy.
He had his whole phone in her face, and she probably like.
She was where Chaz is to me. Like,
maybe
where you are.
She's seen him saying.
I don't know if she saw it or heard it because it was at a concert. But she's where Meek is. The niggas where I am. Help me find her, y'all. What bitch, you're standing 5 feet from this hoe? Like, what are you talking about?
It is an icebreaker, but it's a bad icebreaker.
It's a terrible icebreaker. You know what that is? It's an icebreaker for niggas who don't get no coochie. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. We know y'all niggas not getting no coochie. We can tell by how you scare the hoes off.
They gotta pay for that.
Niggas don't need whatever you saying right now. We are old.
Is that what it is?
Not thinking like that no more. They get into a bag not because I need a bag so I can like apply it to doing shit to like win the girl over. I got the bag. Let me go buy the chick.
Let me get the joint real quick off the.
Let me go online right quick. Go get a joint. Like, it's and it's always been that
nasty ass.
But look, this is how it flipped. It's always been that. But we look down on that.
Yeah,
that was never.
Maybe that's what it is. I'm 34.
That was never.
So
that was never nothing.
I know that y'all.
Like, oh yeah.
And I know that y'all 34 is old as shit. First of all, you better pray you get hit. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. You know what you get? You get old, or you die young, or you grow old. Those are your only two options.
And you don't want to die young because you ain't learned anything. You out here paying for pussy, like
fact.
And you feel like you have. You feel like that's what you supposed.
The crazy part. It's free.
It's not like you at your wit's end.
Listen,
you feel like that is.
I ain't putting your private parts on a pedestal at all.
You already like.
Yeah. Like, you ain't even jump off the porch yet. Like,
not for real.
It's being but you know what? Like feeling like they gotta like as soon as I.
It's been like that for a minute. It's been like that for a minute. Because y'all don't remember the niggas talking about a nigga be around his girl, or a nigga be around a girl, and nigga be around this man. All of a sudden, hey man, you got that 10,000 you owe me? Like shit like that. Like nobody doing that. I remember when niggas was talking that shit on Twitter though. You don't remember that?
All this is based on real things. It's always been that, but that's why the game hasn't changed. It's always been that.
It got amplified,
but that don't mean the game changed.
But now,
there's always gonna be a nigga like me. It's niggas like me that are like 19 right now that think just like me. Looking at they man's like, y'all niggas are dumb.
Cornballs.
Like I had a joint that looked way better than y'all, and all I did was know how to talk to her.
But everybody ain't got wins no more.
It's not even about games.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you what's really wild. So my cousin is like going crazy on YouTube and Twitch right now. Shout out to Devon. His entire platform is how to talk to girls.
Mm-hmm.
Literally 20,000 followers.
Wow.
Doing videos showing niggas how to talk to girls, what you do on a date, the kind of dates that girls like. He's 20.
Right.
Teaching niggas how to talk to girls. He's 20.
Yeah, but they need the information though.
I thought it was the wildest shit ever when I saw it. I was like, niggas don't know how to talk to bitches no more.
We had examples of that, but it wasn't just so as blatant. Like a lot of niggas my age and just men, let me not say niggas, a lot of men my age picked up on stuff like that, either from just like your father, somebody around you. You might loosely base it on TV, even if it's a negative reaction on TV. Now I know not to do that because that nigga just got slapped across his face.
Right.
You see that enough, then it's like it's funny on the show, but you don't want that to happen to you in real life.
But you was in the field back in the
day. Yeah, I'm about to say, but you and I just got rejected back time. So it's like you got to.
But our age range is different because we did when we was young teenagers, 13, 14, 15, first, trying to talk to women. We didn't have the element of social media.
We did though. You know why? We had Black Planet, we had MySpace. You know why we're so special? We went outside. We had to go outside. but we also could go home and work on our game. I went home and worked on my game on MySpace. But I still knew how to talk to a girl in person.
But listen,
I still had to do that. But I definitely went home.
You didn't get to see everything.
I messed up a lot of celebrity relationships I could have had fucking with MySpace. Like,
I'm saying, like,
I had the whole Gridiron Gang following me. Y'all remember that movie? Yeah, all the niggas got killed in the movie. Omari too. I had them.
We was blessed enough to have both sides of it. Like,
Yeah,
our generation got both. We was there for the beginning of social media, so we really knew how to navigate just based on knowing how to navigate off of social media.
Question. So imagine if you didn't have that other side.
That's why I feel. That's why I feel.
Like, you know, Black Planet MySpace.
But that's why I feel
you warmed them up, but you still had to make an appointment to meet at the mall.
Yeah.
Six Flags.
Bro,
you had to go to the mall and find them. We was booking on the train.
Yeah.
Was number one. You got it.
When I was out there, that's where the boys used to talk to you on the train. You was on your way to
I got hit with the worst. What is it? A blind date? I was 16. First and last blind date. And I learned, you remember, you gotta jump. Nah. I was solo.
You was solo.
Listen, I was green, bruh. But you gotta jump off the porch. You gotta make mistakes. I never did it again.
And
Shorty was on MySpace. Yeah. Shorty was on MySpace, didn't have no picture.
Oh
yeah, back in there. Catfish was hard too, though. Catfish hard, bro.
I will never forget it to this day because I learned. Like, she was, meet me at City Place. All right, cool. I'm on the train, red line.
You ready?
I'm gonna have on whoop de whoop. I'll meet you there by the arcade. I'm not gonna say, like, we don't shame nobody. Right. It wasn't my cup of tea. And I had to learn, like, and she came with 4 friends and I was alone. So 4 girls, the 3 of them looked better than her. Like, and I'm 16, so like I don't have the wherewithal to like not show it on my face. I'm not rude, but I'm also not, I'm not feeling what's going on. You feel me? So it's like, bruh, like never again. Like, you gotta learn shit like that. Like, somebody 16 now, like, they don't even know. Like, they would hear that story and be like, what?
No,
like, what you mean she didn't have a picture?
For sure.
Everything's lined up.
As a girl, you had to learn that too, though.
Yeah.
You had to learn that too as a girl. Showing up to niggas you met off MySpace, niggas you met on Twitter, you showing up by yourself after school. Yeah, niggas was weird. Like, niggas was mad weird. Like,
you gotta throw these young niggas in the water. See, they never
really
been to a go-go, standing in the back, and it's your job to figure out how to get this jump to twerk on you. And then
at the least,
bruh.
That was the most humbling thing. The most humbling thing. You get the twerk for the first 30 seconds, and she feeling the music, and then she looked back.
And you pass up.
If you pass it, look back.
The picture booth. Definitely show up in the picture booth. That's what
you get the But you gotta learn.
But
all of this is universal. All for girls. Going back to music, you gotta get denied. Like, you gotta get doors closed in your face. Like, you gotta get you can't crash out on niggas because of it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get denied. Like, you're not as good as you think you are. Like,
honestly, I feel like that's the point. Like,
I
think that, and I might be alone in this, but I think that there is something analogous between like niggas not being able to get bitches and niggas not having any self-control.
Oh, no,
I really
for
do.
Sure.
So like, I think so often in music, like the niggas that don't get coochie, they'll be the ones crashing out. Like, because like you've gotten to a place where you feel like the money and the fame should make you into, or the followers and the engagement. Let's make that more approachable for like the people that's gonna be watching this, right? You got a huge follower count on Instagram and TikTok. You got a lot of engagement. You're getting a couple dollars, and you feel like bitches should just like you. But you don't have any personality. You don't know how to talk to women. A lot of y'all niggas stink. Let's talk about that. Let's start there, right? Let's start there. I'm a person who believes in hygiene. I think everyone on this panel would tell you I smell good right now, right? It's the truth. I believe in those things. I walk out a certain way. Like, I truly, like, they'll tell you, like, and I'm going to be real with you. I seen a lot of bitches copy this after the fact. I ain't going to say her name because I still don't like her. But I ain't seen no bitches coming out with wigs and makeup in music before me. y'all bitches was barefaced when I was out there. And then all of a sudden, within like a 2 to 3 year period, a lot of you bitches was dressing like me. Where you at now? So that's what I'm saying. Like, know yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't just take something from somebody and think it's gonna work. The shit don't work for you because you're not me. You gotta be able to put this shit together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So honestly, that's a big thing. A lot of y'all niggas, it's not just that you don't know how to talk to women, it's like the basics of it. Did you shower today? Did you put deodorant on after that?
Yo, niggas do be funky at the shows.
Niggas be funky as shit. Niggas be coming to these functions smelling like outside. You got some cologne, some oil. The old man on Minnesota Avenue every day in front of the downtown locker room. There's no excuse for you niggas to be smelling like you smell. It's ridiculous. These are little things that will help. And honestly, those same principles you use to get a woman are the same principles that you can apply in moving through a room. You think people want to talk to niggas and your breath smelling crazy, your body smelling crazy, you walk in here looking like you've been wearing this shit all week. You aggressive as shit. I don't know if you want to fight or fuck. Like, this, all this shit is crazy. Like, you can use the same principles to attract women to build your career. You need to know how to move in a room. Listen, it starts with a shower. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna tell y'all right there. It started with a shower. There's a lot of y'all. And even when we was in them shows, it was a lot of niggas. I was like, man, every time he come in this bitch, he smelled like yesterday.
Man, what?
Do better. Start that. Take care of yourself. Value yourself. Love yourself. Washing your ass every day is a bare minimum in that particular excursion. Wash your behind. Put some deodorant on. Maybe brush your hair. Just a shape up. All right, I understand everybody. Shape up. Haircuts now cost the same as getting your wig done. But you could get a shape up for like $20. I'm pretty sure you can still get a shape up for $20.
Where?
Wait a minute. The game has changed. How much is a shape up now?
$50.
Maybe 40,
maybe 45.
You might be grandfathered in with the 40.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
A shape up is $50.
Listen.
50, 55.
A regular
For a shape up? Like just the edge? Just your edge?
Like,
listen.
Y'all better go get some motherfucking edge control.
Okay.
I'm grandfathered in with
Yeah. A regular cut is between the standard, but I would say probably not between $40-$50 off rip.
For a shape up. For a shape up.
Cut.
A shape up.
Cut in most barbershops, and you just let's say you just walking in that and nobody know you. You paying a cold $65.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's easy.
Without the tip. Without the tip.
My soul.
The $20 head. That's what we try.
$20 head.
Real quick, we trying to tell y'all. We trying to tell y'all over with.
Well, shit. You ain't learn how to cut your own shit then.
I can cut my own head too, though. I can cut my own head too, though. But my first job was in a barbershop. But
we know we need haircuts. I'm not trying to.
Well, you better learn how to do the shit yourself. The point I'm making is you need to come in that motherfucker correct. All right, these niggas getting off. I didn't know the shit was like that no more, and I apologize. Y'all pay for a haircut, but I pay for a wig. That's insane.
$20.
I'm sorry. Learn to cut your own shit. Listen, whatever it is, wear a hat. Get you a fresh. If a fresh hat is cheaper than the haircut, then get you a fresh hat. You see what we got going on around here. You see the fuck going on. The point is, stop being dirty. I feel like we're missing the objective here, which is to wash your ass. If you start there, your haircut might not matter as much if you got a hat on. But if you stink, your breath crazy.
It's true.
Your clothes look like you done had them on all week, and then on top of that, your head fucked up. You're not getting no coochie. I'm trying to tell you, but you know. And if she giving you some coochie in those conditions, that junk dirty too.
Or she love you.
Yeah, she love you.
And if she love you
before you get her. Wait a minute. We talking timelines. You talking about before you get this bitch or after you get this bitch? We're not talking about you in love and married and all that shit.
I'm not talking about that.
Before you get the bitch.
You said if she give it up.
If she give it up.
Then she dirty. Not necessarily.
How?
They do each other whenever none.
Niggas be charming.
They go together none.
Niggas be charming. She might like the dirt. The charm exceeds the dirt.
That's not what I'm saying. We talking about your starting point. If you don't have social skills, if a nigga's charming, if a nigga's charming, he has social skills. None of this matters if you're already charming. Dirty niggas getting pussy every day. That if you are a charming nigga, these things may not apply to you. We're not talking about charming niggas. We talking about niggas who are uncharming. And in addition, you are also a funky motherfucker. I don't play that shit around me. Don't come around me smelling like yesterday.
Damn.
Wash your ass. All right, put some deodorant on. And let me tell you something. The Dollar Tree, they selling all the name brand deodorant now. All right, go in there and get you some Suave. All right, they got the Suave and the motherfucking Lever 2000, the Irish Spring. Take care of yourself, man.
In the dollar section too. You can
In the dollar section.
What
Cost you $1.25 for a bar of deodorant. $1.25 for some soap. Please don't play yourself. I wouldn't use the facial cleansers in there, but for niggas, you might be all right.
It sounds like she ain't been in Dollar Tree.
I'm trying to. It's $1.25.
She still think haircuts are $20. Inflation happens.
To be fair,
If you need some smell good, go on Benning Road. Find your local Muslim.
I'm trying.
Pussy spray.
Get you some oil.
That shit smell
Get
good.
you some oil. You can start basic. They might not know all that. Don't give them too much, Martae. You a smooth nigga. Don't give them all the smooth shit. Get you some vanilla oil. Start off from the bottom. Get you some vanilla oil. You can't miss like that. Ain't no bitch not gonna notice you. You walking that thing with some vanilla.
Or go to the flea market
Okay.
and get the shea butter.
You niggas ain't got no cars. They not catching. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all niggas not. Yeah, I know that. I know y'all. I know they not trying to help you. These is niggas with money and cars. I'm telling you. For you broke niggas, all right.
I'm broke.
For you broke niggas, go to the Dollar Tree, get you some soap and some deodorant. They might even have some of that bod in there. The Axe, just the Axe for Mexicans. You got it's all type of shit. You can't get the bod.
Worse.
Yeah, that shit smells.
They make you smell worse.
Yes.
I'm trying to help. You think that smell worse than ass? Because that's what these niggas be
I ain't
smelling
gonna
like.
lie. Walking into a clouded club of Axe is like that is like the worst. Like what? Like walking into a hookah bar full of Axe deodorant and hookah.
I've been out of Dollar Tree game a minute, I admit that. So you might not want to listen to me on that. But I know that they sell oil on Minnesota Avenue every day. All right. I know they sell the oil on Minnesota. I know they still got deodorant in there. I know they still got balls of soap. That's what you need to be focusing on. Soap, deodorant, and oil.
Put it in your budget.
And your personality.
Personality is second.
Please, like,
if your personality is great and you walk in this joint smelling like feet, I'm not going to care personally.
I might not care about what you smell like if I could be like, at least.
You talking about niggas or bitches? What are we talking
I'm
about?
not talking about women.
Okay.
I'm just saying, at the very least, if you're going to be in a room. If you're going to be in a room, at least just be personable.
Yeah.
Like, act like you just want to be in a room.
Smile.
Yeah.
Like, work on that for 2025. Like
bulb.
Like, you can be the toughest nigga. It don't really matter at the end of the day, depending on what you're in the room for. Right. Niggas don't care about you being tough. I know I don't. If you come to me talking to me about working on music, you're not tough to me because you are coming to be a musician. So how tough are you in this very conversation, in this interaction? Sure. I don't need to get the fucking, like, you feel me? Like, it's off-putting. I want to be in the studio with that type of shit. And come here and create.
For me, that's off-putting as a woman too, though. That tough shit. Like, seriously, decide if you want to fight or fuck.
Some women like
it's
that
very
shit,
confusing.
Some women
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Don't walk up to me with your fist balled up, looking all crazy.
That's why it's confusing to a lot of men. Because a lot of men don't talk to like a lot of women. So the women that they have come across,
it's only their sample size.
They might like that. Now they're like, oh shit, it worked for like these 10. Like, let me try these 15. And then you experience a new 15 that don't think that way, which is more jumping off the porch. Like, just get rejected. It's all right.
Niggas hate getting rejected.
Girls are way more aggressive.
That's true.
Don't let you have on like a uniform. Don't let you be at work.
Yeah, they chest bumping and everything.
You telling a true story?
Yeah,
or?
Man. Like, it's bad.
I'm intrigued. Come on, tell the story.
Yeah, give us one. I mean, you already here, nigga.
Man. This
you gotta tell us so don't get mad. It's all right.
She don't care. This shit happened like recently. This girl followed me for 3 blocks, acting like she had to give me like some mail, but like it was just a envelope with her number on it. It wasn't even like it was old school too. Like I low key respected it.
Wow. Industry though, that's what.
Yeah.
I heard some stories.
Like wow, like.
You know,
people deliver mail to. Like, what are we talking about?
You know how everything happens there, but you know poetic justice. Like, think about poetic justice at a basis of a movie. These 2 niggas worked for the Postal Service and was going on a road trip for the Postal Service. You're not supposed to bring nobody with you. That's first off. It was just supposed to be them 2 niggas.
This is true.
So now they got girls with them. You already liable to get fired. Like, so think of shit like that. Like. It'd be wild. But nah, she had her number on the jump and like walked away, and I just had it, and I laughed because I was like, I had on these little ass shorts, like cool, I get it. Like I'm a mailman, like it's a fantasy or whatever. Like
You popped when he told the bitch her breast.
yeah, you feel me? Like, and I don't be looking like a square. Like I probably had on some J's. And like I get it. It's weird. It's weird. Like, oh, let me go smack at the mailman, but they be aggressive. Like that's off-putting too. I don't really give advice to women because I'm in a relationship.
I heard the mailman.
But like that shit is off-putting.
Me too.
Oh, no,
You ain't gotta match a nigga's energy. It's weird.
Nah, facts. I do think like you gotta know when to like. I don't think you should hide yourself, but I do think you need to know when to turn it on and off. Like I think like niggas I date have a very different opinion of me. So
What does that mean?
I'm different. You have to be.
For real?
Yeah.
I can't see that.
Are you?
As long as I
Not when I get mad.
yeah, no, but like as long
all
as
the same when I get
can't
mad,
see,
but-
I can't see like and I'm seeing it though. That's why like, when I see like I see her with her dude and like I was like
It's different.
she look like a whole girlfriend. Like
It's different.
Oh, you like I call
the
my
whole
girl.
demeanor
I call
is you feel me? It's
I
like
tell
I'm with my man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I tell my girl. I
different.
tell my girl all the time, "You a baby." And she's like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna
Yeah,
treat you like a
it's
baby."
okay.
You do.
It's okay.
You turn into a big ass baby.
my girl's demeanor is totally like don't come near me. And most instances, except when she with me, like
Mhm.
it's my girl.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different. You should be different. And I'm telling you that as like a devout nigga. Like the realest nigga sitting right here. Let's go ahead and get it out in the open. You know what I'm saying? The realest nigga sitting right
I
here.
don't claim
It's
nothing
me.
like that.
Whatever.
You start claiming it, you gotta prove it. I don't need to do
No,
it.
but for real though, like you have to be different, like with a man. You should be like, but you know what? The truth is, a lot of women don't learn that either.
Mhm.
So you
There's
got,
always another.
yeah,
side
like
to
you
it.
need examples of what that looks like. And I think like and I say this all the time on the show, this area is unique when it comes to like the way that we were raised.
Yeah.
And I think like the kind of environments that we come from, the kind of parental situations we come from, right? It's not even mothers and fathers in the home anymore, right? So you getting raised by grandmothers and aunties, they tired, they got their own kids, their own grandkids to watch after.
And they young.
So you're really learning who you are through experiences and through what you see. So like if you don't, as a woman, if you don't come from a household where there are men around and there are women who are married or have been in marriages or have been in long-term committed relationships, you don't necessarily know how to act. All of your like ego, all of your aggression, all of the things that like maybe are innately you don't know how to turn them off. You got to know how to turn them off.
And then the other side, the
It's-
men and everybody meeting like that.
Yeah. And then like
Mhm.
seeing what partnership is makes a
Mhm.
difference in whether or not you're going to be able to be a successful partner. I think you can learn those habits over time, but not everybody is going to wait for you to learn either.
Mhm.
Right? You're going to have some niggas, they not having it. You need to figure this out quickly or they moving on. And you can lose a lot of good ones like that too. I've lost some good ones like in not knowing how to turn
Is
it
that
off.
good though?
I mean,
turning it off.
and I know how to turn it off.
Okay.
In retrospect, I don't give a shit. Like I'll name all my exes on here. But
Damn.
the reality is and I mean, in retrospect, like I don't like you win or you learn, you don't ever really lose. So it's not like any of them were real losses.
That's real.
But
That's real.
the reality is like I did miss out on some opportunities, we'll say, because I didn't know how to turn it off. Or not even necessarily that I didn't know how to turn it off. I always knew how to
Didn't
turn it
want
off. I didn't want to. I didn't feel like
the need to.
I don't feel the need to. I don't feel like you're worth all of that. Like, man,
That's why I say like
I said that on the album. Like I heard things. I'm too hard. I'm too mannish. You just soft, bitch, nigga. Learn how to handle it.
She did. She did.
I did say that. Like, some of it is manning up. You don't necessarily know what an example of a man is because you didn't have none around you either. And she don't necessarily know how to treat a man because she never had any fathers or brothers or uncles or women who were treating men properly, respectfully in those situations. So the upbringing is a huge deal in terms of like how you handle that shit. But for sure, like women are aggressive more than ever before. Some of that is like getting tired of waiting on niggas, right? Some niggas, like, they don't know how to approach women and they will never say anything to you, not because they don't want to, but because he don't know how. So some of it is like circumstantial.
Yeah.
You sick of waiting on this nigga and you know he might not. So
But why?
Make your
but
move.
like, make your move.
I'm
I'm big on that. Don't.
not a make my
If you know, like if you know
Right.
If it's at that point, like, what are you waiting on?
But do you really know? Like, there's flirting.
I mean, you can. Okay.
And then there's like harmless flirting.
Yeah, that's true.
It's people in relationships that flirt. That don't mean I want you. Like,
right.
That just might be the way that I communicate.
But I'm talking about like if you know, like, all right, this nigga.
Motherfuckers be thinking they know though.
That's true, and then they get
and then they get rejected, and it turns into something else. And not everybody handles rejection well. Some people get rejected, and they won't approach nobody again.
I don't think there's a proper way. I don't know how you're supposed to handle. It depends on what the rejection
is.
Because it depends on what the rejection is. Like, are we talking like courting? Or are we talking like you missed out on a job opportunity?
Yeah,
like, I mean, yeah, but like you don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, nothing's guaranteed.
No, I'm a help.
You feel me? Like, think about, or we can leave it at dating. You done put in work to get this girl's attention. You got her attention. Y'all done went out on 5 dates.
Life, man.
And now on the 6th date, her phone ring and it's her dude, and you never hear from her again. How do you, like, you've never been in that situation. You didn't even think that could happen to you. And that's not a true story. I freestyled that one. But like, you never think, like, how would you handle that rejection? That's a rejection that's not even true to you because that's never happened to you.
Yeah.
You might crash out and then reflect and be like, damn, that was some corny shit I did. Yeah, but in the moment, it's like, man, what? Like, I got played. Like, you feel me? Like,
that's fact.
You might end up suing a record label.
That's fact.
You lost a record label. Like, I'm sure niggas didn't like.
You want to talk about Drake so bad?
I don't. But it was an alley-oop. I don't.
Niggas don't be real with themselves, man. You gotta go.
That's real.
In any situation, thinking about, hey, I might get rejected, and you can't let that shit break you.
Girls too, though.
It's like when you playing sports, you gonna lose a game, so go back and practice and come back again, man.
I mean, but we all know Kobe.
But we all handle rejection really differently.
And when dealing with females, you always gotta know that, man.
You should honestly, if I was to give any advice to like, especially like young dudes, go into it expecting to be rejected. Not to the point where it's like you down on yourself and you downtrodden and you present yourself as if you're not your best self, but never just assume like you about to get this girl. Like, you not that. Like, it's 5 of it.
But women approach it just like that.
Yeah, but women that's why women are hilarious. That's why women don't handle rejection for real.
That's true. Women, we do not handle rejection well. And I think that is because like you don't even like imagine that it could happen to you.
It needs to happen more. I feel like society would shift a little bit.
No,
if
it's not, we don't experience the same level of rejection.
Yeah, because I think it all goes back to like,
does it depend on? I want to say it depends on what you look like, or I think that's my experience. Like, I heard somebody say, and this was recent too, like your body type determines the type of nigga that you can have.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either. But I think that kind of psyche is why women are like weird.
Body type determines the type.
I swear to God, I heard everything.
It's dudes out here that like lean on like, oh, I'm not about to date this type of chick. Like, they never try to actually learn a woman. You feel me? Like, you might love her personality, but you done told yourself for 25 years, I'm never about to date a girl that look like this. So now you done cut off all possibility of that happening. So like, I get that, but I don't think that's like something that anybody should go by.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't.
Absolutely should not be the standard.
Yeah, that should never
be. You know who I think thinks like that though? Niggas with money.
In your 20s. In your 30s.
I think niggas with money think like that.
Yeah.
Niggas. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it's like, I am not a nigga with money. So I don't even look, that's not a standard way of living to me.
Yeah.
I never had the luxury to think like that. Like,
they think it's about time. So they thinking, time. You gotta break down my day by the hour. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like,
even with certain type of women, like body type, quote unquote, it takes a discipline from you to help discipline that.
So, and you might not even want to do it.
I don't got the time to
niggas paying for women.
Oh, it's transactional now.
Yeah. That's my problem. Like, even with music, right? Bringing it back to that, I feel like that's the problem. Like, relationships as a whole, it doesn't matter what arena you're in, have become transactional. Yeah. And I feel like that's a big part of the issue why the structure to me is maybe worse than ever. I think that there are people doing more than ever. I say this all the time, Nature Boy, Bree, like, I feel like there are people doing incredible things.
Right.
But I think when you look at like the entirety of it, I think there's less community than ever before.
Yeah.
There's less structure than ever before. There's less of an understanding of like not just using, but being useful.
You know what it is?
Right.
It's that, and the notion behind it is that type of stuff is looked at as whack.
Yeah, the structure is back.
It's looked at it like that's some lame shit now, or it's like anything that's an old way of doing something.
Right.
I've been noticing there's almost a need to go against that,
Right.
even if it worked, even if that's the right way to do it, even if that's that's the way that makes the most sense. Nah, like that's the old way though.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, but
it works.
Look at
efficiency.
Right.
We were just talking off camera about we only been talking about these 4 or 5 artists for 15 years because they did something that worked long enough where we got to keep talking about them.
Right.
You can't. It's a new game and it's a new age to a degree.
Right.
You can apply old methods to a new game and it still works.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially in the people business. Like at the end of the day, we're in the people business.
For sure.
There's not a different way of how to deal with people.
Right.
For sure. And I think artists have forgotten that.
Yeah, at the core.
You work in customer service, nigga.
Yeah. There's when you work customer service jobs, you get the same training that they gave you 30 years ago.
For sure.
Customer service based jobs.
For sure.
You're in the people business.
Because people don't change that much.
Yeah.
The structure behind things changes. The platforms change. The
you
artists
can't walk up
change.
to somebody and cuss them out and expect them to not like retaliate in some type of way. That is a interaction, a human to human interaction. You know not to cuss a random person out because you don't want conflict.
Yeah.
So learn how to speak in a room.
I think a lot of people don't know that though, because a lot of these youngins ain't never had a job though.
That too.
You don't really have any life experience, and the life experiences that you have had are very traumatic.
And they're played out on the internet, and you didn't live them, but you've seen them enough where you felt like you lived them.
For sure.
So like
now it's writing from the bedroom.
Yeah, but not even writing. Like now you just watching.
You're just watching
and take it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your first job in DC?
Ooh, I worked there.
It's a trick question, by
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
through the summer program.
Summer joint. Yeah, you already know.
Oh, y'all had a summer job.
I did. My first job, it was in the
city.
city, but it wasn't through Parks and Rec because I'm a Maryland girl. So, fuck off. Like, my first real job was Up Against the Wall, which is how I met.
That's bad.
Yeah,
I say that was bad.
Which is how I know Jonathan. Which is how I know Kyle.
Was it the same joint, Senegal City?
No, I worked at the one in Iverson Mall, the one that used to be there. That was my first job. I ain't even have listen, that's where all the drug dealers was at. Like that's where all the money was, which is total bullshit. You got paid like a waiter in there. I ain't gonna get into it. Andy, I'm talking to your ass. But
like a lot of
for real.
Against the wall.
I met a lot of people working at Up Against the Wall, and then I worked at like All Days. That was like my.
You had the coolest.
I worked at All Days with Kirk. I worked at the one that used to be in Capitol Heights. I think it was like the CFE was there at the time.
Yeah.
I was in high school then too, and then I worked at the one that was on Bennett Road, which was the worst experience.
Hey, that's my neighborhood.
No, not the neighborhood. I love the neighborhood. It wasn't the neighborhood, but I'm gonna be real. It was. Without getting into names or details, there was a lot of niggas in go-go bands who didn't mind dating high school girls.
Oh,
so,
we know that.
We ain't tarnishing nobody's name or reputation. You know what I'm saying? We ain't getting into that. Yeah, but that's how it was like working at the All Days on Bennett. Like all the go-go niggas was in there, all the street niggas was in there, and they did not care that you was 17. So like, which is gross and weird. And like at 16, 17, you don't always know how to maneuver out of those situations. Right. So you're
you shouldn't know how.
You shouldn't know how to maneuver out of that. Your mother doesn't sit you down and have a conversation with you as a woman and say, if an adult male tries to date you at 16 or 17, this is how you respond to it. You didn't get that kind of talk. I don't think the girls getting those talks now. Maybe more now, but certainly not when I was in high school.
I think they're getting different talks, but I'm not gonna get into that.
I mean, I can't tell you what the talks is no more. Yeah, he did make that shit look cool.
But my first job was the barbershop, man. And then my first pay stub job was UPS.
You were there UPS? You do not seem like a UPS type nigga.
Man,
that was the first. That was your. Yo, I worked at Auntie Anne's.
That sounds like a high school job.
Down
that sounds like a high school job.
down gallery place. Before that, I worked at GameStop in Pentagon City. They fired me. It was a little seasonal job. I had it sweet in there. It was a sweet little job.
Pentagon had the joints.
Pentagon City was...
That was a spot back in the day.
Nice little spot. Shout out to everybody down there, gallery place, to see me at Auntie Anne's back in the day, man. Yeah, I slang the check-in. The check-in was my homies, man. They got free pretzels for me all the time, man. That was like collateral and shit.
Not for real, though. But that's real, though. These social situations are what prepare you for what you're going to become anything creative. Like, those experiences inform so much of your life. Niggas don't want to work no more, but so many of the people that I met that I ended up like running into later were at Up Against the Wall and All Days. I feel like I met the musicians there. I was about to say, that's the beauty. That's the other beauty. I'm sure it's like that in other cities too, but it's like meeting people not doing what they're known to be doing, but then you link later in life and it's like they're deep into it. Talk about consistency. Martae then had Cvpset for well over a decade. We've been in Sice game well over a decade. We're like cousin entities and shit. Like we've always ran parallel, but it wasn't until we got well into our adult years where it's like we dove into music. And that's the other thing too. Like meeting people outside of music, I think helps to increase those social engagements. Y'all go into these open mics, these functions, these shows, these parties as a musician. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need to go to those things. You need to be supportive. That's another little tidbit for y'all. A lot of y'all want support for the things that you're doing, but you don't support anything that's going on around you. It doesn't work like that, especially not here. This is not a place where you're going to get something for nothing. So like you need to start interacting with folks. Even when you going, if you going, you're not supporting for real because you going and you going for you. You in competition, like you in competition mode as soon as you see that someone else is an artist, and it don't ever have to be that. Especially if y'all in the same open mic, y'all in the same boat. Like, and honestly, just going to you want everybody to win this on the bill. Absolutely, and going into these events, like meeting people just from working with people, not on no music shit. It made it so much easier to connect with people when I was into music because they already knew who I was. They already knew, like, oh yeah, I remember you used to work Up Against the Wall, right? Oh, you used to work at All Days, right? Yeah, I remember you used to be outside all the time. Like, it makes it easier to interact with people when you interact with them in a way that does not require transaction. Right. But when you go into these functions now, because y'all don't support nothing, y'all won't follow nobody because you're afraid of how your numbers gonna look. Y'all don't want to like no posts. Like, y'all so funny about that type of shit, which I think is weird. But that's the nature of it. It is what it is. But y'all go into these situations that are only about music. They're only about creative ventures, and you're going looking for something, and then you wonder why people are standoffish. It's because you came in here looking for something. Just support some shit sometimes. Show up to some shit. You know how many people will be more likely to help you, to support you, to want to get to know you, to be part of the things that you're part of, if they just met you socially and they liked you? Are you likable? That's probably a good question to ask yourself. Honestly, like that's number one. It's a good question to ask yourself. Are you likable? Do people like you? And I'm gonna tell you how you know you. I'm gonna tell you how you know you likable for real. The best way to know that you likable, first of all, is if you walk into every situation feeling exactly the same. I walk into every room feeling exactly the same because I'm just myself all the time. But it's when people start talking shit and the people around it is like, nah, that wasn't my experience with them. Right. And that's like that's a great way to really know like where you stand in these spaces. Because people was gonna talk some shit. We ain't gonna say no names.
If you want to be likable, just man, go out there and hustle. Like every event I went to, I was always doing something. Like when I first started hanging out, like being in places like Rose Bar or Howard Theater or like any big event, I was taking pictures at first. I went to school for that. I graduated from the Art Institute for that. So every time somebody saw me out, I was doing something. You feel me? I wasn't always just out like promoting the party or trying to get somebody to listen to my music. Like I'm in the zone working. So
or give out some merch. Like go and give some shit out. For sure. The hustle is important, and give some shit away. Y'all pay. Listen, for real. Like you got you buying all this merch anyway. You buying t-shirts and you buying stickers and buying pins like we're still in 2014 anyway. So if you're gonna buy this shit anyway, you're not gonna be able to sell all of it. Go to some functions and give some things away. It's a good way to establish yourself. It's a good way to introduce yourself if you don't know how to do that normally. Right. If you're not the type of person that could be like, you know what, I think I seen you at the last joint. What's your name?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, it's nice to meet you. You was working with such and such, right? If you're not the type of person that can do that, an easy way to introduce yourself to strangers is to give them something. Hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. I just want to get this to you. I don't want nothing from you. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to spread the word about what I'm doing. It's easy.
Right.
And I give it as less easy if you're not social.
It's people doing it. It's just, you know, there's a fear of rejection. There's also just not knowing how to even maneuver that particular, you know, like that could be a lot for some people.
It's
I get it though. Like,
There was a point in my life where I carried around business cards.
Yeah.
but
Yeah, facts. We come from that though.
Yeah.
We come from that.
Yeah.
We come from that. We come from
You
that.
have to be out, like,
We was all doing that.
We was promoting Love Nightclub at 16,
For
17
sure.
years old, bro. Like we come
For sure.
from that.
Now that one.
For sure.
So, but like,
Ain't no way you supposed to be throwing parties with sections at Love at 18. You're not even old enough to drink. Why do you have a section?
listen,
But that's what we was doing. Like we come from a different time overall though. Like
yeah,
there were places everybody went when we were young.
yeah,
And I think that helped because
definitely
like
helped.
you seeing the same people in the same places, what you also going to notice is that like, oh, we have some friends in common. It becomes easier to approach. I don't know if we live in that era anymore,
Yes,
in
I
this
got a
era
question.
where
So I
like
got a
there's a
question.
place where everybody
Right.
can
I had a
go.
question. Remember back in the day, there was like a certain like cycle,
Right.
mm-hmm.
or like, you know, it was a lot of like what was like, was it Thursday was Ultra Bar,
Right.
Yeah,
Friday was
the
Love,
rotation.
Saturday was
For sure.
Ibiza.
Ultra Ball was 18 and over, right?
Yeah,
But
but I'm saying,
anymore?
But I think Bliss was 18 and up.
Is that what the nigga was standing up? in the-
We're not
Okay.
gonna get into it.
Alright.
But I'm even saying, even with
I was
even
trying
with
to establish.
like the music back in the day, like okay, you had Pure Lounge, like I said Bohemian Cavern,
Exactly. Yeah.
DLC. Like I said, I'm from Maryland. I ain't even in DC. Like so,
For sure.
hanging out with y'all. And that's how I got
Right.
into DC culture. I feel like, does that exist now?
No.
No.
Pure Lounge still do they
No,
Yeah, that's true. That's
They
true.
do?
Had an influence
that's-
does.
Oh,
He
okay.
actually revitalized that. I want to say last year, actually.
Okay.
If not 2040,
But not like how it was.
But
But it's not how it was.
But,
No.
but think
Like,
about-
there was a time when like he had like he kind of had the game as far as
I
Pure.
remember, but
He ain't got the game
even think about that. You had to bring that name up
Yeah.
to revitalize it. It ain't nobody look like. I'm not gonna say that. I've seen people try to do it. Right.
Right.
The issue is just it's not the same,
Yeah.
and it can't be the same because
The
everything.
creatives aren't the same.
Yeah, it's
Different
not the
people,
same. It's not
different
the same.
market.
If you look at everybody that's our age and that's into what they're into, that's into the creative side, and just look back 15 years and look at all the circles they were in, they're all kind of similar.
Mm.
We all kind of, if not know each other, we're familiar faces.
Yeah.
We done
for
seen
sure.
each other more than 10 times places.
For sure.
And it's like that travels. Everybody just evolved and graduated into what they do, but that rapport stayed the same. Knowing how to navigate a room stayed, like that all remained. It's not like that no more.
But you know
There's
what?
no spaces, number one.
To be-
Ain't no clubs.
To be fair, some
know
of
how
it
to-
is on us, and I'm
a lot of it.
it's on some of it is on us. I remember like the evolution of like kind of like hangouts.
Mhm.
So I remember when it evolved from like, oh, we in Amsterdam or we in,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, to like, no, we in Diet Starts Monday now.
Right.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
like that
yeah.
evolution from like partying to just like social spaces.
Right.
And I think that that's why we are the way we are now. Like, I think that's why we can like move into any arena and it works because we have like, not only like that experience of like what it was to have communal places, clubs, lounges, whatever you want to call them, but then like the evolution of those communal spaces because we didn't want to do that anymore.
Right.
Like, all right, we don't want to be in the club every weekend, but I'm cool with going to brunch at Diet Starts Monday on a Sunday.
But then it's like it's a whole group our age. It's a whole side of people that didn't even know what the fuck Diet Starts is. Never heard of it. They don't know.
You-
They don't.
If
how
you
to go
don't
to
know what
these
that
places.
is, you really wasn't out
No,
here.
no, but like everybody's outside is different too.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
Okay.
You feel me? So
Yeah.
it's like there was a prominent outside for this area, and
Mm.
that's the difference. There isn't any.
That,
Mm.
There was a
yeah.
prominent outside, like you said, the rotation of
Yeah.
things, the Bohemian Cat, like there was a outside.
Show you
As
ain't
far
open
as-
mics was like a
Yeah,
staple. If
as
you didn't
far
do
as
it, you
like-
ain't open mic. You wasn't.
Exactly.
You couldn't
even
claim
if-
nothing.
So even if you, that's how you get a fat trip.
Mm.
He had to take himself. You have to take yourself out of your element to be at Pure Lounge and be 17 from fucking Northeast rap. Like you got to put yourself in that.
For sure.
Like they don't want to do that. If it's out their comfort zone, like
Nah, that's real.
You know, like,
or y'all know about these social spaces.
And
you support them only as long as you're getting something out of it, and then you stop supporting them, and then wonder why those spaces go away.
Once you feel like you don't.
Once you feel like you're good. Nature Boy talked about that when he came on here, like how many artists he had put on those big stages, and then they got those stages and stopped coming to the open gyms. Like you got what you wanted,
and it's like Nature's such a good person. He ain't gonna like.
Because it's always gonna come back to a person like that.
And it's not like he don't need them to stay, but it's like why would?
But you should.
Why would you not?
I mean, but you can't even think about it like that because that's gonna take your passion away from.
Yeah, that's true. I
think that's why he don't focus on.
Yeah, that's why he don't. But it's kind of like
as his friend and also like an artist that was in those spaces. Like, I do think like, that's why you like not good at any of this. Like, because this is what you do. You go into spaces, you use people that you should be like
everything
really establishing connection with.
People think the stepping stone method is how you're supposed to like navigate life, and it's not.
Is that like cultural though? Like culturally, do we like as Black folks? Do we see each other as like more stepping stones? Because I feel like that's happening in romantic relationships.
I think that's humanity.
Yeah,
I don't think that's just Black people. I think we talk about it a lot,
right?
But we talk about stuff a lot among each other. Like I'm sure white people think of like the stepping stone method, like that's
how that system is built.
Like that's
some spots you gotta go to.
It's like some places you gotta operate that way, but people apply that to just life.
Yeah,
and it's like that's how you switch your rotation of friends every 5 years. You feel like you gotta trick them before they get you or something. Like it's just that way of thinking. Like, but they apply it to everything, so you can't build a relationship with an engineer or a producer because. Now you're trying to skip out on the session. Now you're trying to get beats for free because you feel like, I'm about to go hit up Metro Boomin. Like, I don't even need to work with Ty no more. Like, I got Metro Boomin attention. Not knowing Metro Boomin work on his album that he not about to put you on because, like, you paid 15 racks to get his attention, my nigga. Like, I'm trying to bill for way less than that. Like, I'm charging you $300.
I think that's something we forget, too. Like, you paid somebody to put you in a space. That doesn't keep you in a space though,
and you don't even have access to that space like you think you have.
Yeah,
because a lot of people they get to those points and then it's like okay, like they don't have no plan
because
after that.
That was the plan. Let me get in the room or let me get a foot in the room.
I say that all the time though. You gotta know how to maneuver in the room. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to maneuver in the room. And guess what? Them same social skills that you lack, not knowing how to move in smaller spaces, it doesn't matter if you get into a bigger space if you don't know how to maneuver there. I say this all the time. Like you're not gonna get into these next level spaces of your dream and think that the shitty habits that you had at the previous stage of your life, career, and creativity is not going to follow you. You got to practice good habits. That's with everything. So you need to know how to maneuver in these smaller spaces, not because you owe nobody nothing, for no reason other than so that you know how to maneuver when you get to larger spaces. It's the smaller spaces that prepare you for that. Niggas be thinking, they don't know what to do with $100, but if they get 100,000, that's gonna be your ticket. You can't manage 100. You can't manage 100,000. I'm telling you that as an accountant. Like it doesn't work like that. You gotta like maneuver your way into like that next level of your life, and it takes practice. I say the same thing about relationships though. Niggas think that they can be whores for 20 years and then magically meet a woman, and all of a sudden you're gonna be the perfect boyfriend. Get out of the fucking clouds with that bullshit. If you want good behavior, and only the niggas think that. The bitches that you with don't think that about you. Let me be clear.
You won't have to do. You might move to another city.
No bull. Like,
you gotta be a whole other person in another city. Like
you can just cold turkey that.
Only men think that. Only men think that, and that's why y'all had so many problems in the beginning. Only men think. Only men think that. You don't wake up and be the best version of yourself. You gotta practice being the best version of yourself, and you gotta do it little by little every day. That's what everything that you do, whether you trying to be a more social person, whether you're trying to be a kinder version of yourself, a more open, more honest, more vulnerable version of yourself, or if you're just trying to level up as far as like what your creative endeavors are, you need to practice it every day. You got to like maneuver into the things that you want. Like God is not just he ain't going to bless no mess. You're not going to get to the highest heights of your dreams and everything is just going to be perfect. You know how you know that? Look at every rapper that had gone to prison with $20 million under his belt.
So how do you know when God is protecting you?
I feel like I observe God's greatest protection when I didn't get the things that I wanted.
Mhm.
There were a lot of spaces and times where you sitting in these meetings and there's like a Kevin Lyles and you thinking like, this is going to be it. Like, this is going to be the moment. And it doesn't happen. Or they're asking you to change things about yourself that you're not comfortable with changing. And I feel like for me, that was always the thing. That tomboy shit came later. So there was a time at which like I had to like be 100% confident with myself because like nobody wanted me there. But getting rejected is how like God saved me from things. And genuinely, I look at the person that I am now, and I think in being honest with myself, I was not a prepared human being to be able to move into those spaces and like not end up getting canceled anyway, or not like surviving it because my ego was too out of control. I definitely like, I think I'm the smartest person in every room I walk into. I feel that way now, but generally speaking, yes, I'm talking to you too. But generally speaking, I understand that while my confidence is telling me that, that's not the reality of the situation, right? Yeah. There's a difference between like how you feel about something and the reality of a thing.
Or even if it's true, you don't have to act that.
Yeah, you don't have to announce it.
And that's
knowing how not to announce is the big thing. So I just feel like that was how I learned God's protection, is like not getting all the things that I wanted because I was not a person who would have been the best version of myself. I cannot imagine what I would have been at 23 with $100 million. I don't think I would have liked myself.
I can imagine that. I would have been horrible.
I would have been horrible.
I was horrible at 20.
We would have been wild.
It would have been horrible. I think would be to me that's God's protection. It's not giving you all the things that you thought you wanted at a stage in life where you were not able to handle those things, or where you were not able to glorify the things that matter in those places. Like I feel like I love God, I always have, but the understanding that I have of God and myself now was not what I had 10 years ago when I started. And even though that's when kind of like things were happening for me, I think that like God was protecting me from me. There's a lot of people that think that they want that money and they want that fame and they want that notoriety and that it's going to make them whole and happy and complete and solve all their problems. And then they get there and they're ready to kill themselves. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that singer? He had that joint. I like that.
Yeah.
Poked his motherfucking eyes out. Houston. Yeah, Houston. That was his name. Nigga poked his own fucking eyeball out because he was singing Demons in that room. You do not know.
You ain't hear about that?
He must have.
I remember that shit. That's back when Jet Magazine was out.
Shortly after that song came.
Yeah, he crashed out.
Like his second single, which was like Ain't Nothing Wrong, I think it was called. By the time he got to that second single,
it was a wrap.
The shit was a wrap. You not always prepared for these spaces. And niggas be thinking like, oh, I'm strong, I can handle it. You can't even handle rejection from a woman. You think you can handle rejection from $1 billion record label and be all right with yourself? You're not even okay when it happens on Minnesota Avenue. Some of y'all need to grow the fuck up. You don't live in a real world. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Preparation time is not a waste of time.
Yeah. Right.
You can't handle these little rejections. You're not going to be able to handle $100 million record deal walking out the door for you. It's just the facts. You got to grow up. Stop thinking you know everything. Stop thinking like you good. Stop thinking you don't need to change or adjust or evolve or fix yourself. You got to come into the real world with this shit. If you can't handle a bitch telling you no about no phone number, you're not going to be able to handle not like having a meeting with fucking Irv Gotti canceled or whatever the fuck.
Listen,
it doesn't work like
it's
that.
It's okay to get emotional about not locking in $100 million deal.
It
is.
If
that happened,
but there's a way to handle it.
I probably would drop some tears. Like you got to just be real with yourself to know.
But it's dropping tears and then it's crashing out, wrecking.
Exactly. I'd rather drop some tears than
getting so low in yourself that you try to kill yourself. Rest in peace, OG Mako.
Yeah,
who dealt with that exact same thing. A huge moment in his career. Bitch, you guessed it. And then after that, it was over. And he had no idea how to handle that. And he took his own life as a result.
And a lot of people
it can happen to anybody.
A lot of people was taking credit for a lot of shit they like he kind of laid down.
Yeah, the foundation for which can happen too. A part of like what they say, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. That's going to happen too. Drake built an entire second half of his career stealing. There it is. I went there. Guess what? You didn't know. We're going to talk about it anyway because that diss record came out a couple of days ago. So we're going to get into Drake anyway today. You didn't hear the diss record? Yes.
It's not a diss. It's not a diss.
He talking about Bron. It's not a diss record.
Because he's talking
against LeBron.
It's not a diss record.
LeBron respond.
No.
He gonna respond in his story. He gonna hold up a book of Malcolm X's autobiography and say that nigga ain't like us anyway.
Do you know?
Oh, hold on, my fault. Real quick. I'm just tired of Drake rapping these big words and rapping and then like, oh my God,
Bruh.
son, rejection,
I was
son,
literally about
reflection,
to say
son, connection, son, detection.
The way he rapped,
Elation, vacation, sedation, information.
the way he was rapping,
He's Wayne. Don't Wayne do that?
Nah.
Yes, he do. Yes, he do. Don't sit here and lie.
It's less animated though. At least Wayne gives you a performance. Like
Yeah, touche.
this nigga, I thought like I just didn't call it a diss. He was rapping the same way on what was that? Scary Hours?
Yeah.
That's how he was rapping on everything. And everybody was trying to tell us, or me specifically, that like, nah, he rapping on that jump. Like, I hear
So
words.
who was this against LeBron? Because LeBron was.
I don't know.
I'm gonna lie. I don't remember the exact
Because
wording.
it didn't
I'll find it
matter,
though,
like-
but I don't remember the exact wording.
He just bullying somebody at a game or something like that.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
always bullying NBA players. He was talking about Ja, like in the original record
Oh, yeah,
when
he
it is.
was.
He was talking about Ja.
He tried to come at
Nigga try to hit
DeMar
the gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming in your city.
Bitch, shut up.
Yeah.
That's what he do.
Miss.
Yeah, that's what he do.
I hate that rapper.
I hate that
You don't know about though, like
Somebody I saw on Twitter, they was like, bro, like if you, it was like an Instagram caption from 2022 on his IG. It was like if you read the caption, it's in the same cadence as how he be rapping.
That's crazy.
And it was like it really was. It's like what? That's how you know. Like when he rapped like that, it's like, oh, he wrote that. He went in there and wrote that like himself type shit.
Facts.
and it'd be cool. It'd be
Yeah.
vibes, but it'd just be like, all right, bro.
It'd be cool raps, like, but it's never.
Yeah.
It's like
And honestly, it's crazy because Ty will tell you I was the biggest Drake stan. I defended him with my
Listen.
very life.
these last 3 episodes that I've watched of this show, I've been just laughing to myself because you was on my phone even before the beef kicked off. I used to tell you like this nigga is not him.
You used to say that. You used to say that.
He just made.
And I was like,
He
this
just
nigga just
made
hate
good music. Like, but that
I was saying what Drake saying to himself right now. These niggas just hate.
Yeah,
It's not me, it's you.
that don't make you him. Like,
Nah, facts.
like anybody can make.
And he
good
not him.
music. Like,
Because that freestyle
he
would
was
have went
never
crazy
him,
2
though.
years ago.
Like, he was never.
Number one, I see him.
Yeah, but like we know what that is.
But then
Like,
he's still, but
and he-
he's
and
still,
he trying to tell
He was
you
never him.
legit.
No.
Never.
No.
He was never him ever. In Drake's entire hold on, because I know how
No.
Ty feel about it. Mique Martae, he was never the guy. Never at any point in his career.
I'm gonna say
He was never him.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be honest right now.
Shit.
The
Really-
guy.
You're not even on the show,
No,
bro. Shut the fuck up. God
Uh,
damn, excuse me,
I'm gonna
ladies
say
and
this.
gentlemen.
I'm about to answer this question.
Drake is going to have probably the most valuable music catalog when it's all said and done.
Of course.
He's gonna have so you can't take that away from him. You can't. I think
It stops there though.
I think for no. I think for what he's done, as far as like longevity wise, we never seen a rapper had this long run.
I got a question. Okay, I got a question.
Not necessarily Jay.
What
makes
what's the run though? What, like when people keep saying run,
It's the numbers.
what are we talking
It's
about?
the numbers.
Because
Numbers.
if you look
Yeah.
at his top
You gotta
10
put
list of
quotations
number
marks on the
one,
numbers,
they
man.
not even rap songs.
What the number?
Like it's everything about his career got an asterisk next to it. So
But-
it's like that's why I'm like,
Why
yo,
you say that? Why you say that? Why?
why do I say
Yeah,
it?
why? Like, I don't get it.
If you look,
No,
Solo
so-
Drake projects.
I know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
So look,
I don't
Ty,
listen to the collab one.
so
I don't
Ty,
think
like,
Drake
no.
project. Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know it.
and I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why it's like we're both right.
Yeah.
But that's why I say he can't be the guy because there's always going to be a true conversation on the other side.
Which
I'm
is,
not saying nothing that's a lie.
what is that conversation on the other side?
So okay, let's say it's numbers, right?
Okay.
Let's say we can look at numbers.
That's
Okay.
all it is.
That's all it is. First off, that's all it is.
Y'all do
But
that.
let's say we just approach that and leave it there.
Okay.
If you look at his number ones, like the 10 of them,
Okay.
they not rap songs. He not even rapping. So like, what are we like? What's the run? Is it just like musical? Like, is it just?
But is rap still rap anymore?
Popularity.
Is rap?
That's his fault. Like, why you think
That's not his fault.
that's his fault?
That's Wayne's fault. Wayne did that. Wayne took that right turn.
I'm not gonna lie. I got a theory about just rap gods and shit. Wayne, that Super Bowl shit happened to Wayne because he brought Drake into the game and Nicki. I'm not even gonna lie.
What's your argument that most of his number ones were for rap songs?
Read the first one.
Oh shit.
Read the first 3.
This ain't no.
It's the journey with Rihanna.
First of all, let me say the list. All right, don't fucking jump on me. Let me get it out, Tyrellington. God damn. All right. One dance.
One dance.
God's
that song.
God's plan.
God's plan.
In my feelings.
And I
First person shooter. Slime you out. Jimmy Cooks.
What the fuck is that?
Jimmy Cooks, that's a joint with 21
That's
Seconds.
number one. That's number one
It was on the
That
deluxe.
was the number one
on the chart.
It was a down year.
On the
Number
chart. On the charts.
But he,
1 week at number one.
What's the solo?
Spent 1 week at number one. Hold on.
Drake is a CD
Hold on.
turned into streaming artist, so we don't even know what his chart like. We don't even know what it's basing off of. I bought Drake's first album.
So when 50 Cent prime, you think he would have outsold 50 Cent in his prime?
No, hell
You
no.
don't think about how 50 Cent?
No.
Why? Explain why.
He hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
I've been out for 25 years.
I be paying attention to the numbers. I be in the bitch dancing. I'm dancing over my head. I'm doing what this nigga told me to do. I don't be doing that shit. I don't give a fuck. Like,
So you don't think
nigga, I was partying.
Nah, because he not even look.
Because he was
Think
making
about,
that.
but think about that moment. We was in high school. I left out of Wilson, went to that Best Buy around the corner. I got graduation and I got Curtis because I was a fan of both of them niggas.
For sure.
But think about what I just said. I left school, went to a store, and bought these two niggas' albums.
For sure.
No, Drake, no. I bought Drake's first album and the second one.
Yep.
They didn't do what 50 Cent first album
I bought that
did.
first album
and we had to go buy the shit. So like,
For sure. I definitely bought some of my
career. That's why I said, what is the run? Because like his long career, like niggas weren't about to consistently go out. Yeah, like no.
His run is technically consistency.
Yeah, and that's impressive.
Yeah.
But it's still an asterisk next to it. Like
And
you could have
I'm not gonna lie. I looked at this list. There's like 2 rap songs.
Yeah. You don't even need to read. Look at the list.
I'm not gonna go any further.
That's why I'm like, bro, like I get it. Like
Listen.
I'm not a Drake hater.
I am an accountable woman.
I am not a Drake
I believe
hater.
in that. I was wrong about that. Most of that shit is singing.
Niggas just give him a lot. And at this point, he stopped being humble. So I have to be like, hey,
which is crazy.
You shouldn't act like how you act.
I'ma
my
tell
nigga.
you-
like you got handed everything.
I'm gonna tell you the moment
Like-
that I realized, like, oh no, this nigga's a hypocrite, and it's outside of the beef. I just thought this to myself. It didn't change the way I felt about the music or the content, but I think to myself, I thought, no, this guy's a hypocrite. I remember when that Jay Drake beef first like occurred, because he was talking about like, you know, Jay talking about Basquiat's. We don't want to hear that rich nigga shit. Like he got on Jay for that, and that's why they started beefing. That the inception of that beef was him talking about like, you talking about this bullshit we can't relate to, and now here you are. A decade later, and you are the same unrelatable motherfucker talking about shit that
niggas stopped relating to 50 Cent too.
Yeah.
Like it happened to like
he found other creative niches, but the music that ain't selling another record.
It's bound to happen in music. You gonna get older, you gonna have to talk about more shit.
But
you got money now.
But you don't.
Like look at Snoop and Drake new album.
You don't. You could be Pusha T. No, you don't. You could be Pusha T.
Nah, but Pusha T do it differently though.
You think? Back it the fuck up for a second.
This is getting touchy.
You think
you ain't even let me finish my statement?
No disrespect. All right, finish your statement, then I'm gonna ask you.
Pusha T raps about his. Okay, so
let him say this shit, and then I'm gonna rebuttal the fuck out of it. Say what you gotta say.
Because you don't know what I'm about to say.
I say it. That's what I want you to say.
Pusha T's coke raps have evolved from when his first 2 albums, when he was rapping with Malice on the first 2 albums.
He said coke rap.
His coke raps have evolved over time.
He rap about the same shit. Evolved because he talking about more coke now.
No, but listen,
it's a new job.
I'm glad that y'all
the shit you got. with more coke.
But your word you use the coke.
That used to be the old Franklin Saint, now I'm the new Franklin Saint.
Listen, I'm glad that you said that because if you go to Pusha T's second solo album, the joint where it was the black cover, you got the doves on the front. He got a song with Jill Scott on that bitch talking about the woes of America. And the hype of the Drake and Pusha T beef, I kept saying, you can't give me one song where that nigga did that. So yeah, Pusha T be rapping about coke. But at the same time, we're not gonna act like he not a nigga. Okay. They can easily rap about the woes of America. I'm gonna say
touche because
like, come on. But he raps about coke very well. Like he makes coke raps. He does. He'll tell you that. My point was his pen evolved over time. He can paint like the coke raps used to be real blatant back like when Clinton's first
4.5 will get you in the game.
Like now he still do that, but he can paint a whole picture with his shit now. Like
so I'm pretty sure that all right to
no
Drake's defense.
I'm gonna let Chad
to Drake's defense. I'm pretty sure he could do that too if he
get
a little bit of rapper in him.
I'm never saying
I would have all of your fans if I stayed on some conscious shit.
I'm
sure some writers could come
Drake
up
was never on some. He was his own conscious beats.
He was.
He never was on some conscious shit. He was just rapping on Little Brother beat.
He was
was conscious. So niggas like me got
how awful he was with it.
We got
was very conscious of that.
Oh, he about to be. Oh, he's the next. He was never that. It's the same with
Kanye.
I do know
Kanye was like,
say a piece, and then I'm gonna tear this shit apart. Go ahead. You finish? You finish?
Go ahead.
You finish? You finish? Okay, I just want to make sure I want to respect. I want to respect the men in the house before I get on this shit.
What we talking about?
That Drake burst off niggas.
You're saying that Pusha T has evolved as a coke rapper. So he's a better rapper with a better pen than he was, even though much of the material is similar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You're saying Drake never did that?
I would say he regressed.
You think Drake regressed?
Yeah.
I mean,
his writing. And his writing of raps.
This is hard.
Yeah.
You think
conversation.
It is very nuanced, and music is.
That's why he's right too.
So
Martae just asked me, does Drake really have ghostwriters?
Yeah.
You ain't hear the
I heard it.
Quentin Miller.
I don't be getting all that
Let's
shit.
put it.
You ain't hear the
Shout out Quentin Miller, man. He wrote some of my favorite songs, man. We fucking love Quentin Miller. Quentin, come talk to us, man. You wrote some of the best shit Drake ever came out. Rico might be the nigga best verse.
I'm talking about like Radio Jones.
He be writing, yeah.
But so that's why he regressed because his writers ain't the same.
I feel like he regressed. Yeah, it's not this. Think about what we were just talking about the fucking freestyle shit.
Wait a goddamn minute.
You missing what I'm saying. You missing what I'm saying.
No. I do hear what you're saying. Because I agree that there's a regression in terms of the material. I do agree with that. And I think that as a woman, I think there's a difference between like
the structuring of
a song versus like the actual words on the page.
Okay.
So I think that there's been progression as far as structure. I do think there's a regression in terms of material, but I don't think that that's because the pen has devolved. I think that that's because Drake has devolved. You're not a better man than you were 10 years ago.
Right.
I think that you as a human being have gotten worse. Everything about you is worse. And I say that as somebody who believed in that nigga. My nigga will tell you.
That's why she's so hurt about
That's why I'm so hurt, man. I almost lost a fight arguing over this nigga, for real. We had to apologize. That's real shit. I was
texting back LOL. Because I knew.
I was mad. I was like, why wasn't them texting voice notes losing my goddamn mind? I was, you get mad enough, you can't text this shit no more. You misspelling shit, his words missing. I had to get my shit off. But this is what I'm saying. I absolutely think that the reason the material appears to have devolved is because he's devolved as a human being. I don't think that Drake has gotten better as a man. I think that that's really what makes
evolved, just not evolved. You don't grow.
Same place. I disagree with that. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is just my perspective as a woman, right? So when you listen to Drake's music, so much of it sounds like something written by a woman or something like as a woman you wish you, right? It's for us, feels like it should have been by us, right? So when I look at Drake's music from the perspective of a woman, there is like so much less respect for women now in that music than there was 10 years ago.
That's true.
I'm telling you that as a girl who loved him. He doesn't respect us as much. And that's probably just like art, imitating life. He has more options than ever before, more money than ever before, more clout than ever before, more fame than ever before. And it's very clearly impacting him. All this corny shit that he doing right now is something that a famous nigga who's never been cool would do. Right? Mm-hmm. You never been a cool nigga. You don't have that. I mean, it's part of the reason why you can't really recover from all of this.
Say it again. Say that first.
Never been a cool nigga.
First part again.
Never been a cool motherfucker.
So don't ask why I'm saying he never was.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. You my dog. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying my disappointment in it is not because I don't feel like there's been an evolution in the structure. I think that there's been a de-evolution in material, because to not move forward is to automatically move backwards. It means you standing in the same place while everybody else grew. So it's automatically moving backwards anyway. I feel like that Drake likes women less than he ever has.
It does seem like that. And going back,
that's my problem.
A lot of men.
It's popular not to like him.
It's not a him thing.
He was just ahead of the snake.
He in that space.
He in that space. I'm not gonna put it all on him.
It's not all on him. That's what niggas are doing as a whole. Niggas are telling you like, nah, don't get married. You can't trust no bitch with your life. You can't little baby bummy ass. I know that nigga stink, but anyway, like it's no way. Like you have the niggas who are like the ones that you think are in control of it all, telling you that women are not worth commitment, and that's not a reflection of everything happening in this industry. Right. Women are less valued in music than ever before, and the only reason we have any value is because women have stepped up as musicians, glow control and shit. And then you got on the R&B side, you got the Cocos and all of that. Like there's women who are great representations of good music, and whether that music is like deep or rapidy rap shit or significant in the ways that everybody needs it to be on Kendrick's level is ridiculous. Women have grown in music. I think that women are really some of the bigger talents in music right now. I'm talking about just right now.
If you look at the landscape, it's really a reflection of like going back to saying like the old way of how rap was, like especially commercial.
Very misogynistic.
What they doing with Doechii right now? Doechii's one lane. You got Glow, you got Meg, you got whoever. Like you could get something like there's something for a young girl to like look at and be inspired by on all fronts,
which we don't have,
which we haven't had for a very
long time.
Because we had at one point we had Foxy, while we had Aaliyah, and
while we had Kim,
Elliott,
and then we had Tribe, and we had Luda, and we had
Busta
Pac, and we had Busta. Like there's always been a healthy reflection of. And does
that exist in music right now? And I'm not just talking about like women as a whole in music. Do we have like that like artistic variation that we used to have?
But that's what I'm saying. It's getting back to that, but it's starting with women first. That's why I said like if you look at the landscape of what's going on right now, like it looks like when I was 13 and I could turn on and see a Luda video, a Busta video, a 50 video, like all of this is way different. Different sounds.
Also like, different looks.
Different style of videos.
The dark skin girls that came in like a wave, and I love that shit.
And if you a young girl and you looking at that,
you need to see representation.
Yeah, you need that. Like,
representation is important. Because when I was coming up, you did have like Aaliyah, and then you had Missy, and then you had Tweet, and you had Fox,
Lil Kim.
You had like variation, and then it seemed like over the last decade or so that has kind of gone away.
And they wasn't
Fox and Kim was beefing. They ain't like each other. You know that. So the bitches was fighting.
So as women, how do we make sure it don't get compromised?
No, it's already.
Because compromised.
It's synchronized with the WNBA. Like the men league and men rap, it got oversaturated to the point to where
it already happened. It's so new that it's still like it's not to a point where it's oversaturated where it's like everybody's tired of it. Like
I think that's what it is. Yeah, we're tired.
We got tired before last year. people was just tired of mainstream like hip hop. Like,
Oh, that's
pussy
right.
rap. My pussy rap. My pussy
It was-
rap.
and not only just from women, it's like, bro, like all the beats sound the same.
Y'all killing each
all
other.
y'all niggas sound,
Cadences.
all y'all is the same. Y'all
using the same words.
the same.
You're not even trying.
Yeah,
Like,
Cat.
and I'm not talking about like the underground. I'm
spin
talking
on the
like,
block and I pull out the Mickey. Spin on the block and I pull out the Mickey. Wow. You niggas without trying. That's how I know y'all ain't shit.
Already compromised.
it's already compromised at least sonically. I'm from a producer standpoint. If you talking about the women, they found the formula with Meg first, right? Think Big O Free. That joint got popular really quick. Number one, the sample grabbed your attention.
Mm-hmm.
She was riding the sample. You can't go wrong with a sample.
And she could flow for real.
So you saying with these newer artists, they getting compromised? Because you know,
I haven't. So think about since Big O Free up until now. And leaving it just on women because we talking about like women are running shit right now. Think about all the singles and all of that. They follow the same formula, but it's gotten less and less Big O Free.
Yeah, for sure.
Even from an instrumental standpoint, like. Now
and you still got to start with, honestly, even with Doechii, you still start with money and pussy.
Yeah. And it's just how you do it now.
You remember that song because the first line is put the motherfucking money in my motherfucking hand. Like that's how it starts.
But even something like that, she's so like she good because she got her team under her.
Yeah.
Like everybody know what TDE do. So she kind of not even in the group for real. But like think about all the singles. Sped up sample, slow down sample, 808. Now what I'm gonna rap over because the sample lane worked for the women. So like let's do that. What's the big nigga name? Big X or whatever.
Big X the plug.
So now we in a time where the next generation of kids aren't used to hearing sample based music, even though that's what's like rap.
They're not used to hearing music overall. Something that DJ Heat mentioned when she was on here. Shout out to DJ Heat, man. And I had no idea about this because I'm grown, right? So I'm listening to entire albums. But she was talking about like how TikTok has kind of like changed the landscape of music. So kids don't even want to hear the song anymore. They want the part that they heard on TikTok. And after that, like 15 to 30 second window, they don't want to hear it anymore. They want that part of TikTok. So it's not even like music.
It's that old Christmas song that just went #1 for Christmas because
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
No, it was
another one.
The white dude. What's his name?
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Name.
It's another joint because it blew up on TikTok.
But it blew up on TikTok. It's an old song, but it finally got #1.
A lot of songs on TikTok like I DJ in my middle school.
That's why the labels are taking so much music off of TikTok.
I literally would have the kids coming to me when I'm DJing at the middle school parties. They're coming to me, play TikTok songs. Play TikTok songs.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
I played a little 15 seconds. And they turn up, then it's
they only want the part they heard on TikTok. That's what he was saying.
My girlfriend's little cousin is 16, and like she went to her party when she turned 16, and she was like, "Bruh, like." They danced to the parts of the songs they knew. They did the TikTok dance, and then they were just standing in there like on the dance floor. And so like
they don't even hear the rap.
I brought it back up when I was like over there this past like Thanksgiving. I brought it back up to her little cousin. I was like, yo, like y'all don't like dance to the music though. Like there's still music playing. And she was like, what? Like, why?
Yeah, man.
16 years old. This is the younger generation.
You said your niece, nephew, he don't listen.
She was like, why dance to the music? Like, I
was telling him on the show with Heat. So my nephew is 9 and doesn't listen to music at all. And the only music he does listen to is that shit that he hear on TikTok. Nothing else. Like, cause I was taking him to the ice show that down at the Harbor every year. And so I was like trying to figure out, what is he like, right? So because when I have another nephew who's 24 and we grew up together, so he was listening to all the shit I was listening to. He liked Pac, he liked Biggie, he liked Luda because that's what I was listening to. I was, we was 10 years apart. Right. But like, my nephew that's 9 does not like care about music at all. Like if it's not from TikTok, he doesn't know what it is.
Did you say he like the
That's
strings,
the
right? landscape. It was a violent, what you said?
Yeah.
So I said that was a place.
That's an outlet.
He plays instruments though,
Okay.
which is the crazy. That's the craziest part. My nephew plays drums. He plays guitar. He plays. He likes music. He just doesn't know anything.
It's how it's consumed.
Yeah, he only consumes it based on like sheet music.
Yeah, no. So real talk. Now we go.
I'm trying to tell y'all niggas.
We're not recording
So music
songs.
don't be big in people's houses though.
Yeah.
Some households.
And that's the other thing.
I think that's another thing
Music
too.
was always big.
I don't know if
Yeah.
music is big with my brother and my
Yeah,
sister.
my parents like there was never not music playing
For
in my
sure.
house.
I got music from my uncle was like a street nigga from Lincoln Heights. So he was at was the Chateau every weekend, right? The Chateau, baby. Dancing Danny. If you know, you know. So he in the Chateau every weekend. So, he used to like hand dance with me when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I came up listening to all the oldies. I feel like that's my foundation of everything I like now. Even now, all of that stuff is on the Get the Draws playlist right now.
I feel like that should be, and maybe I'm biased because I am black, but I feel like that should be every black kid's foundation.
For sure.
And that stopped. And that, even that little small,
because music used to be the timeline. It was the only way we could communicate like that. We weren't allowed to tell these stories of excessive racism and the traumas we were experiencing. We weren't allowed to write newspaper articles that were going to go worldwide. We didn't have internet, television. You heard it in music.
The music that came before you. You looked at artists like whoever from Motown and revered them because these are pioneers for
sure
a genre that we created.
These kids now don't even, they using samples and don't even so many kids now you using I've heard of artists do that on TikTok. Like you used an Aaliyah sample but had never heard any of Aaliyah's music. Yeah. That's the landscape now.
People go out their way to disrespect these artists. Like it's cool. I keep trying to tell you the cool thing is with this generation is to just be so anti everything that you just come off.
So
everything before you.
Get your ass.
My fault. Yeah. Yo, so real quick, when I record young artists and stuff like that, recording in the studio, they don't want no song over 90 seconds. If the song, I literally have dudes, if the song is a minute, he like, okay, I'm done. They don't want to do the hook, 8 bars, hook.
That's the nature of it now. When you listen to when you listen,
so quick.
But when you listen to artists from this area,
they're not writing no verses. They're not
writing no verses. Having hooks. The hooks be the verses. That's what the music is now. That's free call music. Like your hooks your hook is the way you started that verse. I spit through the block and I come at 11. That becomes that hook.
People albums, most tracks be like 2/3.
I seen that clip. I seen that clip and
but that Kendrick's album, GNX, most of those songs, it was a couple songs where he did beat switches.
That loop
is that's the issue though.
But most of those songs are under 2 minutes.
This is my silver liner, right? So it's evaporating, but if you notice the new generation, you have this influence now streaming to it's to the point where you said they disrespecting the past. But the silver lining is you almost forced, it's the accountability now. You're forced as an influencer, or you have to live that life.
Now you gotta
Now you have to live that life. So now
because people not interested in it if you're not sharing parts of your daily life. I feel that way though. I feel like that's a bad habit of mine. But if I am not included in the artist's personal life, I'm less interested in it. I'm paying less attention to them because there's somebody else that is going to let me in that type of way.
I might be that. I might be that way too.
I feel like a big part of Coco Jones's reemergence, right? From what was it? What was the movie that she was in? Light the Way, or
that joint with Slim from Everybody Hates Chris.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Christopher Tyler James or Tyler Williams Chris, whatever.
His name's Chris.
His real name is Tyler James Williams. I think.
Did she just say Christopher?
I had to think about it. I couldn't think of the nigga's name. When you less attracted to people, it's harder to remember them. But not saying nothing like that, but just generally speaking, why y'all slicing, man? This is wrong when you bring your friends on this motherfucker, man. But seriously, when I look at her reemergence, it happened because of Twitter. Because people were interested in what happened to her as a person. And then in the midst of that, she ended up getting on Bel Air. And then the album came after that. And it just happened to be phenomenal.
I was about to say, and she delivered though.
She delivered like a motherfucker. That might have been one of the best R&B albums of that year, quite frankly. And it was just an EP.
That was real good.
Man, that first Coco Jones EP, solid.
I was just telling you,
solid. And she won 2 Grammys off of it, which were well deserved.
Yeah. Drum needs Keep putting out music, bro. Fuck that.
For
Fuck
sure.
that cha-cha shit.
But it was her life that like really brought her into the forefront of like everything happening in music. And I feel like if you're unwilling to do that, you're gonna have a lot of trouble now.
Especially if it's a story involving hardship, people don't want to share that. People be prideful.
That's facts.
When you think about niggas like Wiz, that's one of the reasons like he got
the day-to-days, man. What I was watching all the day-to-days. Like,
which is crazy. Right. That formula has evolved and now you almost have to do it that way.
Right.
Back then it was something like people don't respond well to mystery. Yeah, but people don't like mystery anymore.
Right.
People want to know like what's going on with your life, who you fucking, like you got kids, like who you stop fucking, like why y'all stop fucking, like people want that information on you. Neither do I.
It works for some people. Like niggas don't know about Brent. Niggas don't know who Brent Fayez is unless you like know him or know people in his circle. But
for some people it works. For some people it works. For some people,
it works. R&B artists.
Yeah,
because there's a pocket.
Okay,
there's a pocket for them to do that right now.
It works for
that's gonna change.
I give you that.
That is gonna change.
But I feel like the only reason you get that from R&B artists is because like those are the last artists still giving you like music videos, and so much of like their personal life gets put into that. So it's like there are avenues by which certain artists like expose their life.
Brent might be the last nigga.
He might be the last one.
When you look at him, it's like, oh, I can't read this nigga.
Let me ask you this. Other than Brent, who else?
That's what I'm saying. He might be the only one.
Can anybody think of somebody like that?
Party Next Door.
Who gives a fuck?
That's the thing.
Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about them OVO niggas, period. Nobody cares about y'all, bro. Fuck them niggas. We don't care no more.
I liked his last album. It was decent. But the thing with Party
Nobody gave a fuck, though. That's my point.
He's not even interested enough to like wanna like even care. It used to be that, but he played that. It's Drake's fault. I'm sorry to even go back to that. That nigga stepped on his career to a degree where it's like niggas stopped caring about
Took his best song.
Yeah, like
featured on his best song.
And then when niggas
if I feature on it's gonna help you.
When he when he had a resurgence and came back around, niggas was like, what damn he fat? Like what he fat? Like went on him. So it was like
he did get fat, but he was locked up all that time.
Who knew that?
Exactly. Nobody knew. He got Chris Brown came back and got fat, and the whole world was talking about that shit. That's came out the pit.
We knew he went to jail though.
Yeah, that's true.
I ain't no Party next.
I ain't no Party went to jail neither.
They say you don't know.
Nah, nigga, you know because we're gonna end this shit right there. Go ahead.
They say he played with his nose. So.
So he went to jail for coke.
Who was they? We gotta start. If I ever met Kendrick, I'd be like, "Who told you?" Chubbs got handed down. They told me, huh?
Pusha put that in the line.
Nah, Kendrick did.
Kendrick did.
Yo, you really been father of the year?
Nah, for real. This nigga out the way like shit. You don't know none of that shit we talking about today. Drake and Kendrick was beefing. Fuck, he missed everything.
Songs for like
Coco Melon and shit.
That did one. I can bear that one, but that nigga be shooting all them jumps, bro.
Damn, you missed a lot, bro.
I missed a lot.
What you got coming up?
Yeah, this nigga never not working.
Yeah.
School break about to be over, so I'm gonna be taking him back to school. That's coming up.
It's just saying father first.
That's fatherhood as well, man. Real.
Hey, no,
I ain't got no damn kids. This shit.
It's called a cup runneth over. So Manati gonna be a part of it, but I've been working with other engineers and producers and stuff too. We gotta do something, man. I don't think we did something since Friends.
Yeah, since the
tell you what you need.
And
you need to let me.
She's not retired.
First of all, I am retired. Shut the fuck up. Second of all, you let me executive produce that motherfucker.
Look.
I'm telling you, I can make some of y'all stars, man.
She ain't lying.
I can make some of y'all stars. I'm gonna tell you where it start. You niggas can't dress worth a fuck.
Damn.
Y'all are some of the worst dressed generational niggas I've ever seen. First of all, you niggas are terrible. Honestly, you might do better if you could dress. Just look at Martae page, man. Honestly, like he always got the wave. I wouldn't say that. I don't get on here and tell no lies. I really don't.
Man, by the way.
That's fine. That's what it is right there. He dressed like all the NBA players is what he dressed like. That's how you know a nigga getting some money. I'm telling you, I dress like Martae before I dress like Shaq Gilgis. Corny, beefed up. Listen, the point I'm making is
Who she said?
Y'all need to Shy Gilgis. I hate the way that nigga dress. I hate the way Shy Gilgis dress. It's
Okay.
always like a boxy shirt and like fucking like pants that like a fucking nigga who wears a 44 would wear. Like,
It's the
So
Barcelona. It's the
terrible.
Barcelona cut.
he's
But he like
horrible.
6'8".
He's the worst
He
dressed.
like 6'8".
He's the worst dressed
Some
nigga.
shit bound to be
How you- Nah, bro, he just like that on purpose. You know them niggas got designers
That's what I'm
and
saying. It's a
stylists. Like
Barcelona cut.
he doing this on purpose. It's trash. You need to quit. It's wild. This doesn't matter and it has nothing to do with the show. But I think the NFL niggas really killing the NBA niggas as far as like
I don't look
attire.
at that.
I pay a lot of attention to that.
They just got good jewelry.
Putting that shit on up.
They
Yeah.
just got good. It's
The
the accessories.
The NFL niggas can dress though. The NBA niggas can't dress.
NFL niggas be putting on a white tee, jeans, and be having
Nah.
mad like accessories.
Not at all. I'm telling you, that's how I know you don't be looking. The NFL niggas be dressing. It's the NBA niggas that dress like that, or they dress like
Russ.
like Tyrese. Now they dress like Halliburton, where it's like a fucking button up and an oversized ski vest and some fucking cargos that don't fit
They got too
and
much
some
money.
fucking
So
wallabies. Bro, outta here.
Have you thought about the thought behind these walk-ins? Like, you weren't dressed like that all day.
Yeah, no. It's off
You
the
had
show.
on,
It's off
you
the
had
show.
on sweats.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't dressed like that all day.
It's
You
off the
put
show.
that on
Put your around the
for
house.
5
film.
minutes.
Give me the
Yeah.
around the house.
Or you don't.
'Cause that shit y'all wearing.
And you don't have a
Yeah,
sponsorship
Kyle-
and none of that.
Kyle
Yeah.
Kuzma be wilding.
Bruh.
Now you know what's crazy?
He wildin' for
Kyle
respect.
said that he not doing the tunnel this year because he felt like now like everybody's copying him and now it's overdone and all this bullshit. Get that nigga out
I'm
my
gonna look
city
at
too.
every kid.
Get that nigga the fuck off the Wizards. First of all, you've been averaging 6, 2, and 1 for about 3 seasons, nigga. You need it. I don't know why the fuck we pay. Fuck Kyle Kuzma too.
Damn.
This is the
You
national.
weren't happy when y'all
This is
picked him
the
up?
fuck niggas every
No.
day.
You weren't happy when y'all picked
I
him
was
No.
happy when we first got him
No.
because I thought that this might be. I'm gonna be honest. I felt the same way about Kyle that I felt about Jordan, which I felt like this is their opportunity.
Jordan.
That-
We talking
I
about
know,
Wizards.
I know.
I'm talking about Jordan Poole.
Give it
Michael
up,
Jordan.
Joe. How damn dare you?
Yeah, no.
I don't even mention Jordan. Listen,
Nah,
Jordan.
Jordan with Jordan K.
He don't want to mention bum ass niggas in the same conversation. That wasn't me.
Say cool that time.
We not gonna act like
I wouldn't mention
we
the bum
not
ass
gonna
niggas.
act like we weren't around for when Jordan came to the Wizards. It don't matter if he was 58 years old. Niggas was happy that Jordan came.
First of all, Jordan was better at 58 than these
Yeah,
niggas
nah,
are at 26.
Nah, that's a fact.
Jordan Poole would get smoked 16-0 by the Jordan that played on the Wizards.
He probably would.
He wouldn't even fucking score, you fucking bum. And then you got fucking Kyle Kuzma. He wouldn't even let him on the floor.
Yeah.
If Jordan was still playing for the Wizards,
saw-
he wouldn't let Kyle Kuzma
saw
in
the hair.
he wouldn't let him in the building. So like, we're not gonna sit here and tell lies like these niggas who on the trading block right now are not fucking bumps. And when you get traded, I'm gonna say the same thing I said about Brad Beal. Good fucking riddance.
Jeez.
And I know you're watching this, Brad, because I see you in them stories all the time. You fucking suck, bro.
Damn.
I'm a Lakers fan. I'm just ready for Bron to hit the Mosey trail. So
You
we can
don't like Bron on your
so we
team?
can rebuild. It was cool. It's not cool no more.
You're just over it?
Yeah, hell
It
yeah.
doesn't matter that he's still one of the best players in the league, huh?
LeBron needs to retire. The Lakers
So
need to.
niggas,
The Lakers
it
need
don't
to
matter how
rebuild
good
their
niggas
team.
is. They just need you just need him to move on from your team.
I don't care about that. No, I'm 34 years old.
You ready
man.
for the reset?
I don't care about LeBron James no more. Like, he's great. He did it. The nigga don't need to play basketball no more.
So he Jay-Z now?
Yeah. Niggas talking about Jay working on the album. Do we want to hear Jay-Z rap? I'ma listen. I didn't ask were we gonna press play. Do we want
Shout out
to
to
hear that?
Nas. This run was great.
Not one was great.
All thoughts, views expressed on the You Weren't There podcast are strictly the thoughts, views, and opinions of the orator expressing them and not represented by the show itself.
Listen, the Uptown Sound on all Twitter, IG, whatever. I'm a Jay fan. Trust me. I am 34 years old.
What?
There's no lesson. There's no life, anything I need from this old ass nigga.
Okay.
I don't need it.
All right.
You don't have to go go in a booth and do anything. You did it. You did it.
Tyrell, let me interject.
I know what you mean, though, but why you can't do it?
Let me,
not to do that. Why
wait a minute. Excuse me.
Not with. Listen.
We're gonna get off Jay right now. The nigga touching a lot of money and he be here. We gonna leave him alone.
What Nas did with Hit Boy was great.
Yeah.
We
Fantastic.
didn't need it.
Yes, we did.
We needed the first King's Disease. I didn't need them other two. I'm just what y'all think. We needed the first one. We needed the first. We needed one King's Disease and Magic. We did not need them other two. He could have kept them in the vault, or he could have played them around the house through the surround sound. We did not need King's Disease 2 or 3. Magic, I'm happy with it. It's one of the best albums I've ever heard. We didn't need one and Magic. What you could have kept the rest of that shit. I'm sorry.
But y'all got chill. Redman to drop Muddy Waters too. And they had like 30 songs.
Nigga said, listen,
Why they gotta be old niggas? Why we gotta disrespect our own? You sound like these young niggas talking about you.
No. I'm saying old niggas in a literal sense.
No. I'm not disrespecting. What I'm saying is
veterans, man.
Better.
Thank you, Martae. That's how you know he the coolest nigga in the room. You see how he flipped that shit and reversed it? Thank you, Martae.
I'm not disrespecting the vets. What I'm saying is, do you really want to sit and hear a 15-song album of Jay-Z in 2025?
He said Redman just dropped a 30 piece. 15 for Redman. So you know,
give me 8. Give me a good solid
good
8.
EP.
Yeah, give me
I feel
8,
like if you at that point in your career, it's cool. It's cool to be like, damn, Redman just dropped a 8-track EP with like Justice League or some shit, whatever. Like even Ross, I'm not trying to get you started.
Okay.
Even Ross in this point in his career don't need to drop full-length albums no more.
Yeah.
He don't need to. Like give us 3 of the trap Ross joints. Give us 2 of the, the fucking
melodies.
Give us the fucking shit we know you for.
Yeah, give us 2 white lines.
The Justice League beats and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
like,
I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But I feel like Ross is a great example of somebody who like has evolved in every way except for the content.
Yeah.
The content is all the same, but because the delivery, the beats, the packaging, everything around it is so much better. So you're able to receive it, even though like none of the material has grown at all. To me, he's a primary example of like, somebody that hasn't grown.
What happened?
Is he gonna recover from that smack?
I don't think
that wasn't both.
About that.
No, they do, man.
I don't think so.
It wasn't both.
I feel like for the moment, because it was one of those things where it was like everybody was like, "Well, nigga, that's what you get." So it was like it's nothing to really like harp on because it was kind of like reaction, like for every stupid move.
Yeah.
Like nigga, that wasn't even like.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Nigga.
But you can't rap what you used to. The same way they on J. Cole for buying
I
out.
don't believe that.
They on. I'm seeing some of the readings though. They on him like you can't rap about being the boss no more.
I don't even think niggas that's holding on to this J. Cole shit mean it for real.
Nah, not
at
anymore.
At this point,
I think the right song will like blow all of
it's
that.
already been. He already did too much right for. At this point, anybody that's trying to hold on to that, it's 8 months later.
J. Cole shouldn't have never did that grippy crap.
The grippy joke was
Grippy was awful.
That
might be his worst song ever.
Hey, you know what came on the other day on my fucking title, and I said, "Damn, J. Cole deserved more lashings than he got." The lashings on it. The fucking song with him and Wale, the Poke It Out joint. This the fucking Kendrick on that.
He did?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
He said, what he say? Niggas big stepping but can't outstep me or something. And I said, oh.
Yeah.
Damn, so you were just shooting at this nigga. Like,
what year was this?
Like last year.
Is that Wale?
Yeah.
I think it was 23.
Yeah, 23. No, that was like 21.
The Byron thing sample?
That was like 21, y'all.
Yeah.
It was like 22.
No, that was before. That was before
Big Steppers?
Yes, that was for that.
That wasn't 2021, was it?
Yeah.
Nah, that wasn't 21.
That was like 2021.
Put my phone out.
She about doing that. Yeah, that was like 21.
It wasn't 20. Poke It Out.
Bro, I was playing that
last year though.
No,
I was playing that. I feel like it was 23.
I was playing that when I was DJing at Wasted.
So he know.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
All right, I reached. That's crazy, though.
October 1st, 2021.
Damn, 21.
Cole.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You still deserved it, though. Because
that grippy.
For me to even reach that, and it's
not for grippy. Like you forever deserve.
But he made you mad. Like, he made me mad.
I laughed. There was tears coming out my eyes.
That's the worst song I ever heard in my life. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely his worst song.
He just worst song.
His worst song.
He in the studio doing this. He in the studio doing this. Nah,
you tipping. And niggas was in there too. He wasn't alone. Nobody told him don't put it out.
Nah, facts.
Nobody.
Let me ask you a question. How often do you go to people,
And
right?
be like, don't.
Nah, like not like don't, because I know you'll do that.
Nah, I really won't do that.
You don't do that?
I don't believe in crushing nobody's dreams. Like, no joke aside, I believe in giving honest critique, but I don't believe in like.
There it is.
Nah, I'm not
Love
about to
the
be like,
verbiage
oh,
change.
like this was like. I talk about.
You can say it as nice as you want and still crush your dream, though.
I can.
Nah,
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta tell somebody. Sometimes
If it's like really bad, what was you about that? It's about.
Nah, that's a good point. We're gonna come back to that. But how often do you go to people and ask them their opinion about the shit that you're creating?
Oh, all the time.
Word?
All the time.
You have like a set circle that you're like inquiring with, or is it just like
Yeah, and then I'll go out of that circle and get a few ears that aren't familiar with me and my sound.
okay?
Or just whoever I'm working with. Or if I know it might not be something they would usually listen to, I give them a disclaimer of that. Like, hey, I'm sending you some shit. Like if I'm sending you something, then you know of me for making music. So
Right.
listen to my music, right? But I know what you listen to and I know what you like to a degree. This might be some left field shit for you, but check it out. And I like the turnaround for that has been like 70% positive. Like people been like, damn, like I didn't think I would fuck with that. But like, oh damn, like that little sample jump sound, like going back, there's a resurgence of sampling with the younger generation because they're not used to hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
So all the samples sound dope to them.
Yeah.
No matter how like simple the beat is or whatever, like some sample shit, some 808s and a nigga flowing on it is like a winning formula right now.
For sure.
So like, it's all a circle.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Martae?
Shit. I put out my shit when I want to, how I want to. I mean, I don't really like let people get in my head about it too much because at the end of the day, it's my music. But
You don't want to be open to a lot of opinions.
yeah,
Like,
but
go
I
back
do
and check.
respect constructive criticism. Like if you gonna say something trash or if you don't like something, I need to know why. Give me like
That's my other
ways
thing
we can change this.
Don't leave it at,
you know, like
don't leave it at the
This is
surface.
ass.
Yeah.
That's it.
you trying to break somebody's spirit or
That's
dream.
what I meant.
You know,
I'm not about that. Yeah.
As artists, you shouldn't do that to another artist.
Right.
'Cause
I
you
agree.
wonder why you do that to you. So,
Right.
I mean, just have something constructive to say about it if you can say
It's
it.
happened to me.
You know, help the person grow together.
I got you. Yeah, I've had like, I think it was one time, this was recent. I was already like done with it. Dirty Gospel was out. Like I was like, it was like a year after that, right? Because that shit was like 3-4 years ago now. So
Yeah, 2020.
yeah, so like it was maybe a couple years after it. So I kind of was already off music. Like it didn't really matter at that point. And it was a nigga, it wasn't like mean. I think it was more like tone and inflection than it was the wording. But he was just like, I mean, you're just more of an acquired taste. Like a lot of people are not gonna fuck with this. I was like, I could tell y'all who it was, but all y'all know this nigga, so I'm not gonna say
Damn, why would
nothing.
you just be knowing?
I mean, like for the people who watch this, like everybody know this guy.
Gotcha.
So like, I'm not gonna say who it was, but I will say that I think for me, this is just me personally. I think you need points on the board for me to respect your opinion at all.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain people that I'm not going to listen to it at all because like I've had bitches say that, like, you're the worst rapper ever. Like, well, what are you doing?
Right.
You're on Twitter all day talking shit. You don't have no money. You're in your 10th apartment this year.
Damn.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like, you
my God.
like, I'm just like, those be the people that be talking shit about you. Like, it be people with no points on the board. You're not doing, yes, because I own apartment buildings. And there's a lot of people that be talking shit.
Can't fuck with nobody that can pull your
Yeah,
foul.
like, I mean,
That's crazy.
it's a lot of bitches that was talking about me credit score 430. So like, I why would I listen to you? You know what I'm saying? So
damn.
for me, it's like, you need to be putting
part, right?
this. The truth. So like, I think like for you to be able to offer constructive criticism, you need to be in a space where one, you coming from a place of love and good intention. I think that's the primary thing. But also for me, like,
I know what you talking about.
I would need somebody to know what they was talking about.
I didn't want to say that, but
somebody who's not a creative giving me negative feedback on creativity doesn't work for me.
Yeah, because
I already like value that opinion a bit less. Not because you're not entitled to an opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, no matter what it is, even if I don't like it. I'm entitled to say fuck your opinion too, though.
Yeah.
So like for me, a non-creative, and that doesn't necessarily mean a musician. We're just talking about a creative, and we all know what that means. A non-creative giving me a negative opinion on something creative, automatically it doesn't work. Yeah. Right? That's a motherfucker who only plays soccer telling a basketball player how to shoot a jump shot. You don't know.
Right.
You don't understand the mechanics behind any of it to be able to advise on any of it. Right? Because I think that there are structural things musically that should be acknowledged. But even if you have none of that structure, that doesn't change the fact that you could make something amazing. It's a lot of songs that don't have no structure to them that are fantastic.
Right.
So like you not having like structural knowledge is fine. But you not being a creative at all, you not being in those spaces and then advising people who are creatives on how they should be creating, to me is ridiculous.
What was that app that came out in the pandemic where everybody was a record exec? We were talking to everybody.
Clubhouse.
It's Clubhouse. Good riddance. Good riddance.
I can't show you how many people I met on that app that told me they were something and they were nothing at all. Not saying nothing to the degree that you're nothing as a person.
Right.
You're not what you're presenting.
You're not an A&R for Columbia.
You typed up a bio and made that shit move. Facts. And it's Clubhouse fault.
Facts.
I like getting to the root of issues. In present day, it's a lot of modern day issues that just affected us as a whole.
I agree with that.
In a short amount of time.
Clubhouse messed up the game a little bit.
Clubhouse messed up a lot. You don't know who's who. Yeah. People still are holding on to
and people was doing that before Clubhouse, but it's like once you see it in a bio, that somehow legitimizes it for people, which is why they put that lie there.
Yeah.
But like that was happening before where motherfuckers was coming in the Roses Deja Vu, or they was coming in the Pure, acting like they was A&Rs for labels and like they could do things for you. And really like these niggas living with their mothers in the basement.
That's the game though. That's the game.
Yeah, everybody trying to get their foot in, but some people gotta lie and
that Clubhouse shit just funny.
That was
crazy.
That used to be
y'all are lying.
Yeah, like who are you?
500 people.
Y'all ain't never been to a studio.
Right.
I don't even know how none of this works.
Like come on.
Not for
real. People got too much time to. That was funny.
I'm about to create an alias. And just I'm gonna be a record exec 2025. Faithless one.
You gonna be an AI record exec?
You could.
I could.
In this age, for real.
They got AI labels, AI songs.
I don't know. Just with AI shit.
I don't know if it's that people are dumb though.
It's not. I don't want to.
I think some of it is just desperation. People be so desperate for like whatever the thing is, whether it's for the life or the image or the engagement or the views or the clicks or whatever it is. People be so desperate for the thing because they've rested everything that they want in life on this one dream. Right? They haven't even conceived that there are things beyond this one dream that could like really create the life that they want, make them the person that they want to be. So like your view is so narrow that like if this thing doesn't work, then all of a sudden it becomes like a tragedy.
Right.
When in reality, like there's always the possibility that it's not going to work and you need to know how to maneuver around it. Yeah. But this goes back to what we're saying as far as like people not being able to take rejection.
Or
it's a lot of people who believe the bullshit because like the concept of like somebody lying to them is not even something that registers.
Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't do that. Why would they do that?
Yeah, that's such an easy phrase that people say, and it's like, what do you mean?
Because they can.
Because they can. Because they have. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen
because it's worked before.
Yeah,
people lie. Like how many? Again, we ain't saying no names, but how many photographers from this area were taking advantage of women just because of the title?
Man.
No points on the board. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta know who you are. You need to know whose you are. You need to value yourself walking into every room. Because there are people in the same rooms that you walking in with your head down, or you don't know how to socialize. You don't know how to maneuver in these spaces. There are tens of people in that room who would love to take advantage of your naivete. who would love to take advantage of the fact that like you haven't branched out and that you don't have a social circle or that you don't have people in this area, in this industry, in a creative space that you trust, that you rely on for constructive criticism, for honest opinions. They rely on the fact that you don't know and that you don't have anybody that you could ask. To me, that was like one of the biggest benefits of like the space and time that we came up in. You could verify niggas back then.
Right.
Like that was a time and space where you could ask people like, who is that?
Right.
Right. If somebody say something crazy to you, I could go to Ty and be like, hey, you know who this motherfucker is? And honestly, that's how the word got out about a few of y'all.
Yeah.
That's why we know. Because we had spaces of verification. We know you're not shit because everybody's saying it and we all talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And that only got bigger as the internet got bigger.
Yeah.
So this is why connection is so important, man. This is why like it's so important for you to know who you are, whose you are, and to connect to people in those creative spaces because you need to be able to verify the information that you're being given also. You need to be able to like ask questions about the things that you're hearing. Point blank, period.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? And we're going to wrap it up right there, man. We've been here long enough and Ty got somewhere to be. So we're going to let everybody go around a circle. We're going to get that information one more time and we're going to get out of here. Mique
on the mix, MIQUE on the mix on all social media platforms. That's about it. Yeah.
Oh, Chaz DL at Chaz DL, all platforms. Y'all know what it is. Thank y'all for another great conversation. Like, share, and subscribe. And also go get that bird by the door. Thank you.
Amen. Ty?
The Uptown Sound on IG, the Uptown Sound _ on Twitter. I am a producer at the core. I know I was up here talking a lot about everything, but at the core, when you come to me for the work is music. So, yeah.
For sure, Martae.
Cvpset Martae, Cvpset Martae, and Cvpsetmartae.com. Y'all can find me.
Amen, man. And
one quick moment. If y'all want to like really go back and look at the history of a really cool side of this city, it's not a thing no more. Look up Cvpset, look up Sice Game, and just look. It's all still on the internet. Yeah. I promise you, we not up here talking about nothing the way we talking about it because we weren't in the rooms or we weren't outside for as long as we've been. So like,
and you weren't there. That's why we're trying to help you. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless y'all. Good night. I'm your host, Mique OTM. We appreciate you.
Peace.